So how are we doing this? Are we doing like there's things podcasts do where they're like, they start in the middle of the conversation, or are we doing a hard like, hello?
Welcome. I don't mind, to be honest.
Let's just use that.
That'll
be the intro. Hello, welcome to Don't Start a Podcast. I'm Ben.
Aaron.
And this is,
Pure waffle.
just nothing but we have no idea what we're going to talk about. Literally earlier, or yesterday, when I told my parents about it, they were like, "Oh, what kind of podcast are you doing?" And I was like, "Oh, it's just about anything." And they were like,
Good idea. Sounds good.
I could see the look on their faces of, "Oh, you're just gonna waffle for however long."
Pure waffle.
So I figured we'd start off with a celebratory shot.
Standard.
Closer. With this bottle from Edinburgh.
Straight from Scotland.
Straight out the trap.
There's one thing to make it easier for conversation to flow.
Yeah, because
It's a
I can't talk to you unless I'm drunk.
Yeah.
I don't know if you knew this.
No, that's fine by me.
I'm nervous.
I get that response from a lot of people.
I start sweating.
That's a healthy shot.
They're big shot glasses. Fucking hell. Cheers.
Episode 1. Let's get it.
Oh, that's awful. Lovely, but awful.
Yeah.
Oh man, I suck at shots.
Put some hair on that chest.
Oh.
Yeah, so I don't know what the overall topic for today is.
Yeah, I mean, we sort of talked for a couple things. Are we going to talk about Yay?
I guess we can do, yeah.
Do we want to
How's the
start
main
there, or
one?
do we want to build up to it?
I don't mind. I guess if we start with the question, is Ye as relevant now as he was 10 years ago?
10 years ago, so 2012, yeah?
So just after, well, a
Around
bit of a time
Twisted
after,
Fantasy.
yeah, a bit of a
That
time
era.
after Fantasy, just before Jesus.
That's a good question, because like my answer would have been different last year to now. You know, like I feel like when Donda dropped, the hype was so like, oh my god,
It was big, yeah.
yeah, like a new fucking Kanye album. Whereas now I feel like he's going right back to where he was like 4 years ago or so, where people are kind of sick of him.
But it's weird because it's still like he's massive, like in terms of him trending because of all the stuff with Kim,
yeah,
Julia Fox, and that. He's still quite big,
yeah,
just with his name. But musically, I guess is the better question.
yeah, because I mean, Donda was like his biggest debut, wasn't it? Because he broke. I don't know about ever, but certainly in the streaming era, because I saw he broke.
It was high. He broke 500k, didn't he?
Yeah,
think he
and
did.
like a bunch of records.
500k.
I think he
week.
still holds the record for most simultaneous like entries in, I think it's Apple Music charts at once.
Yeah,
Or something
yeah.
ridiculous. Like he had like 23 songs or something insane
On
like
the
that.
Yeah, when the album dropped.
But
But I guess the main thing at the time was it didn't outsell Loverboy
yeah.
first week. Obviously,
Yeah, which it's so weird to me now that like Ye's legacy is so tied to Drake, even though he predates him by a bunch of years.
I think that's Kanye's fault
Absolutely.
because he constantly name drops him. It kind of feels like he sets himself up to be compared to.
He looks insecure.
I think he is.
I mean, yeah. I mean, even outside of Drake, Kanye. I don't know the guy, obviously, but to me, seems like a deeply insecure.
But it's just him with Drake specifically. He seems I think it's where when Drake came about, Ye was at his biggest.
Yeah.
It was like 2009, 2010 where Drake started building steam.
Yeah.
That was Ye after the VMA thing, Fantasy. And then obviously he kind of just kept getting bigger. Then it was Take Care, nothing was the same. And then I guess, I mean, Drake is like, he's one of the biggest stars in the world.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like,
absolutely. He's a pop star.
He's a pop star who like makes hip hop music. Like,
exactly.
He does the numbers of pop, which is what Ye used to do. Like, if you look at it.
But it's weird because I feel like from like 808s onwards, Ye's not like pop in the same way. His songs still did like become pop songs, but I didn't feel like he was aiming for it.
No,
whereas
like,
with Drake, it's the opposite to me. Like, he is a very calculated. Like,
yeah,
this song is
definitely
appeal to this audience.
Drake definitely makes music that he wants to chart.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, he makes music that will chart for a summer or a certain period of time. It's like when he always drops them like song packs, like Scary Hours and that. It's just it feels like they're songs to keep him in the charts throughout the year.
And I feel like they're so carefully picked where it's like between both of them you have like the pop song and the rap song.
And you got something more lyrical,
Yeah, and obviously number 2 had 3 songs on it, so it sort of had that plus kind of an in-between song where you had the Lil Baby one that sort of felt like it was appealing to both demographics.
Yeah. And obviously Lemon Pepper Freestyle is just pure like bars.
Yeah, that's like, and then What's Next is very like pop rap. Like,
what was the other song that dropped in that pack?
It was just 2 of them, wasn't it? What's
next?
Next?
Which one? No, What's Next? Yeah. That's what I meant. What's Next?
Oh yeah,
Lemon Pepper and
Wants and Needs.
Wants and Needs, Lil Baby
one. Whereas obviously the first one was Diplomatic Community
and God's Plan.
Which was funny because I don't think he expected God's Plan to be as big as it was.
All right, hot take. God's Plan might be Drake's worst song
ever.
Like I when you look at it, like lyrically, just everything, like it's like it's such like a throwaway in terms of bars and stuff like that.
I get what
it's catchy, like I feel like the main thing, you know, the she said do you love me, that's what made it pop.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I remember everyone was filming themselves.
I get this is anecdotal, but like a couple of weeks ago when I was working a birthday party with a DJ, when he played God's Plan, the kids knew not a single lyric until it hit that point. And then they were screaming it. You know, they were like, like they lost it. Like at first I was like, oh shit, because where he was working, like I think they were like 13. You know, they wanted TikTok songs, so we were neither of us are that into TikToks.
Right.
He's a bit older, so we were kind of trying to guess the songs that would hit with them. And so we were both like, yeah, God's Plan.
Standard.
That's recent. But yeah, when it started, we were both like, oh no, we misjudged. And then it got to that point, and I was like, it's one of them songs where it's designed for a 15-second challenge or whatever.
Literally a TikTok song.
Literally.
Like, but that's what I mean. It's just when you listen to, like, if I'm listening to Drake on Spotify, I've never typed in God's Plan. Like, let me just listen to God's Plan. Like, it's just, and the crazy thing is, it's done like numbers. Like, it was number 1 for ages. Like,
it was his biggest song, right?
When it came out, it was massive. It was like,
it probably still is his biggest song. I don't know. Because
I know like One Dance and that is like One Dance just won't disappear.
One Dance record.
Did it really?
Though. I think I could be wrong. Fact check me.
That's one.
But I feel like it broke the record of One Dance, which was obviously everywhere, and most of views was, I mean, Controller was everywhere.
See, that would surprise me because One Dance, like, as I said, when he makes a song, I feel like he knows when he goes into the studio, if he's gonna make a song that's gonna chart, or if it's gonna be like one for the album or something. And One Dance feels like he knew that was gonna chart.
And I feel like the thing is, like, that's why people struggle with later Drake albums, I think, because they feel so calculated. It's like, okay, here's this song for this demographic, this song for this demographic. You know, like views onwards.
Although
it does feel that.
I feel like Loverboy isn't like that as much as
not in the same
Views,
way.
More Life, Scorpion. Scorpion for me is like the God's Plan formula in an album, where it's like he's trying to make chart music.
I mean, it's literally split in two, where it's like, here's my rap side, so I can have like lyrical. But there's, even within the split, it's not like part one is all bars and part two is just one dance on a loop,
which is weird.
It's very like within the rap half. I mean, isn't God's Plan on side A of Scorpion?
I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah,
I know one of the big singles.
Let me look that up. Let me fact check that.
One of the big singles was, it might be the In My Feelings.
Well,
one
nice,
of them
nice
is on.
For What? Which side is Nice For What on? Let me see. Spotify doesn't split it properly for you.
It splits.
It ends at Is There More, innit? So Nice For What's on side B.
Okay.
Which is like meant to be the R&B side, isn't it?
Which I get. Like,
In My Feelings as well is on side B.
But God's Plan isn't, is it?
No, God's Plan is on side A. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, even within the split, they're still so divided up into like, okay, we're gonna have this.
Yeah, which is weird though, because like, if you told me, because I mean, I remember when Scorpion dropped, I didn't listen to it. Like, it took me like a few months to listen to it. It just, at the time, like, I liked Drake, but I wasn't like massive on Drake. So when it dropped, I was like, oh, like, I know the singles. But then when I heard like, oh, it's got side A, side B, I was like, oh, so they're gonna be different, right?
Yeah.
And they are, like, to an extent, but like you said, on side A you have like some mellower tracks, and on side B you have like In My Feelings, Nice For What, which are like, they're more poppy.
Yeah, I see the vision, because I feel like especially around then people were like, when is Drake gonna do an R&B album? And he will like, I mean, he even said in that interview, he was like, people want like a really short, cohesive Drake album, and I swear he even said like, you're not gonna get that, because he's such a big artist. Like, he's kind of the reverse of The Weeknd in that sense, where I feel like The Weeknd just does whatever the fuck he likes. Well,
this is the thing, like,
whereas Drake, I feel like he's so calculated. He's like, no,
he needs to do this to fill this quota and this, but then at the same time we got My Dear Melancholy from The Weeknd, which was like it was like an EP. It was like a nod to like his older music. It also had like the aspects of his newer music. Like, it's not as dark, it's a bit more upbeat.
Yeah, it's like a clean dark.
Yeah.
It's like dark, but not like dark, I'm gonna OD and die. It's more dark, like, oh, you broke my heart and I'm sad.
Yeah, literally, yeah. But it's like the production was more like his older stuff in a way.
It's a lot more spacey, airy.
Yeah.
Kind of, what do people call it? Haunted strip club
music.
Strip club music,
yeah.
It's much more that than like...
But I wish we got something like that from Drake, where he just dropped like a 6-song EP.
Yeah.
Where it's just like him doing his R&B thing.
Marvin's House.
Yeah. Just call it Aubrey's Garage or something.
Take Care 2.
Yeah, Take Care 2.
Aubrey's Garage.
Aubrey's Garage, yeah. I don't know. It's like...
Yeah, I would like to see... Because he's sort of done that with like the mixtape with Future. You know, and even the Scary Hours stuff, I feel like is playing with that idea of like,
well, like,
what's a short Drake sound?
It's like Dark Lane demo tapes. It showed that he can like, he has the power to drop, at least like some throwaways or something that's a different sound. Like he's doing like drill on like Dark Lane. There's literally 2 songs which is just drill tracks. Yeah. So it's like he clearly has some pull in what he releases.
Definitely. I mean, he could drop anything and people are going to listen to it. Like, he's that level of artist where he drops regular enough, he's always present, but he doesn't like oversaturate the market, I don't think, where people are like, oh god, another fucking Drake song. You know what I mean? And so I think whenever he drops, it's instantly like, oh shit. Especially not now, obviously, because he's kind of squashed everything, but especially when he was beefing Kanye, it was very much like every Drake feature, no matter what he said, people were like, this is going at Kanye.
Yeah.
which I don't like, is very clever business wise. But because people are just gonna analyze what you say. Like if you're in the headlines for some, like next song he drops, everyone's gonna listen to it because they're gonna be like, oh, is he talking about Rihanna?
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
like,
literally, yeah.
Just through not saying anything publicly, which is kind of the reverse of what Kanye does.
Yeah,
where he
I
says
mean, he's
publicly.
everything that comes to that man's mind, he puts on Instagram and Twitter. But it's weird because I saw a thing where it was like, it was on Twitter trending that Drake unfollowed Rihanna and ASAP, which I think wasn't like accurate. Like I saw one thing where it's like,
was he ever following?
Yeah, that's what I mean. But already people were like looking into it like
exactly.
that.
You know, and then there was that video of him at the basketball game.
Yeah, and then they're like, oh, he's got the curls out.
Yeah,
he ain't shaped up his beard.
I think that was deliberate.
Maybe.
I feel like he's so Drake is one of the few artists that's realized the power of being a meme.
Yeah, no, 100%, 100%. And the thing is, he embraces it.
Absolutely.
He likes being cringed to an extent.
You can't tell me when he made Hotline Bling, he was like, my dance moves are sick. He was 100% like, people are gonna clown on me.
Yeah.
And that's gonna, you know, it makes it more approachable. If you can laugh at someone.
Well, this is the thing with Drake, and this is why he's like a cheat code in music, because I feel everyone can like listen to Drake. He's so accessible. He has like a song for everyone.
Literally, my mum has like a Drake song in her playlist.
There you go.
Like, literally everyone listens to Drake, even if it's one song. Even if you're like, Drake's whack.
Even if you if you don't like Drake, if
or a feature,
if something comes on in the club, you're gonna know the words at least, just because of like the exposure he gets.
Absolutely. When One Dance comes on, no one sat there like this.
Yeah, for real.
By the clearance.
Yeah. allow it.
You know, everyone's busting one move. Like it's literally one dance.
Yeah. And I feel like the whole ghostwriting thing with Drake, I feel like it is unfair on him, because like, Kanye is like just as bad, if not 100%. Worse.
Isn't it Travis himself that said, like, when he was doing some of the beats for, I think, Yeezus, he was like, although Kanye is credited on him, Kanye was like asleep.
Oh,
like,
really? Yeah.
I'm sure it's Travis that said, like, Kanye was just not at all over. Like, he gets credit, but like, he weren't involved.
I know, because Travis, he was like heavily involved with Yeezus, weren't he? That was just before he like started making his own stuff.
And I think people are so like hypocritical, where they're like, oh, he ghost wrote it, but they don't care that like, I'm not saying writers shouldn't get credit. I'm just saying people act like it's such a, oh my god, I can't believe you didn't write your own raps, and it's like, okay, but on half these songs they're crediting like 10 people, which I guess sometimes is because of samples. Like if you look at Sicko Mode, there's like 20 people credited because it samples so many things. You have to credit all of those people as writers. So like, you know, the Biggie song and all of that, which kind of changes it. But at the same time, you know, if you look at songs on, especially Pablo, like there's so many writers where you're just like, what?
It's like, well, even
but nobody cares about that.
No,
that's
like,
Kanye wrote
that's the thing.
Even though like, along with like 10 other people.
That's the thing, because lyrically, like, I'm a big Kanye fan, but like lyrically, he's never been like,
oh, absolutely.
If you're talking about like goated rappers, there's an argument for Kanye as an artist, but not as a lyricist, in my opinion. And I'm like like, don't get me wrong, like I'll like defend Kanye, but if someone says to me like lyrically top 5 rappers, like I wouldn't push Kanye. I don't think you can.
Yeah, I mean, and he definitely leans into that somewhat, where he kind of like what we were saying about the Drake being a meme thing. Kanye definitely has like ridiculous bars for the sake.
It's like punchline.
Yeah, where it's like the one on, is it on Ye or Jesus is King, where it's like, I like your titties because
yeah,
you know, stuff like that, where it's so ridiculous. Or
none of us would be here without calm.
That, or the one where it's like on Off the Grid at the end, where it's like, and when share is rear. Yeah, you know, he does ridiculous stuff deliberately. Or even recently with the Pete Davidson thing. I don't think he's being like, oh my god.
What did you think about that track with The Game?
I thought The Game was really good on it. I thought he absolutely like showed up Kanye.
Is a great verse.
Like, yeah, he was... Because when I started listening to it, I was a bit like... The Game is an artist I like on features and stuff, but I'm not going to listen to a Game song.
Yeah, like, I'm not going to front. Like, The Game was, like, not really my era. Like,
yeah, same. I like 100 with Drake. I like, a couple of his other features. Like, sometimes he'll be on a song and I'll be like, oh, yeah. I'm not questioning his abilities. Just he's also not really my genre of rap.
Right.
You know, he's very, like, hard rap.
Yeah, it's like the early 2000s, more gangster type rap. Yeah. Like him, 50.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, stuff like that.
So he like caught me off guard where I was like, oh yeah, he's like a really good rapper.
Yeah, his verse was great though.
And then Kanye's one did what it needed to do, where you could tell he wanted the headlines, sort of the people being like, oh my god,
yeah,
Kanye's going at fucking Pete Davidson, like, or whatever. But it didn't blow me away. I can't really quote much of it.
Yeah, I mean, again, like, the production never disappoints.
Oh,
like,
yeah, absolutely.
Like,
the production's so good on that.
So, I don't know. I thought it was a good track.
Yeah, like, I enjoyed it. It just... I'm glad it was a Game single and not, like, Kanye's lead single off Donda 2.
Yeah.
Although I do feel bad for Game because I feel like it kind of overshadowed... Like, people consider it a Ye song.
Yeah.
When they talk about... Like, you see the news report it where they're like, Kanye West, this is... blah 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 on his new song. And it's like, well, it ain't his song.
I know, but it's just he's such a big name.
Yeah, of course.
And it's like, did you listen to the new Pusha T track?
I haven't yet. I heard the snippet. It sounded really good. Is Kanye on the song?
Nah, he just produces.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
Because the hype going in, I saw everyone be like...
It's because he's in the music video.
Yeah,
it's just vibing. Yeah.
Is it good? I assume so.
I thought it was good. Yeah.
I see like, a Pusha T song called Diet Coke. I'm like, that's
yeah. It's a bit more of a laid back Pusha track.
I was gonna say the little snippet I heard. Sounded like that.
It's more. I don't know. Like, obviously his last project Daytona, it's not really like that. Where like, the production is.
Which I don't mind it being different.
No. Yeah, it's more like what was the one before Daytona? Was it King Push? King Push.
The one where it's like
with the bandana and the bird and that. Yeah. But I thought I thought it was good. I saw a lot of people hating on it, saying it was just kind of mid. But I thought it was quite good. Production is good as well.
I feel like he's leaning into like the meme of Pusha T, where it's like he just raps about coke.
Yeah, but like,
and he's like
so
having fun with that.
Yeah.
Nobody else is rapping about coke better than that.
Yeah,
guy.
Like, I don't mind. Like,
I was gonna say you can give me a whole mixtape about it. I'm not gonna complain.
I'm hyped for his album, no Pusha T.
Yeah, same. Especially if it is like all produced by like Kanye or something like that, because Daytona is really good.
Daytona is great. Yeah, it's like I saw a take on Twitter the other day. It was basically saying someone was trying to say that Pusha T, he always makes good music, but he's no pun intended. But he's never been great. He's never made like an amazing project that changes.
He's a bit like Ross, where he has his style.
Yeah.
And you know, if you go into a Ross song, you know what you're gonna hear.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you're not gonna be like, oh, what? I think Pusha T is a bit more versatile, but that kind of vibe of like, if I go into a Pusha T song, I know what I'm gonna hear. But he does it so well.
This is the thing, and I know like Daytona is like his mainstream project now. Like I
think part of that is because it's so short.
Yeah, it's accessible.
From the Ye automatically brought, and like the whole, it started the thing with Drake.
Yeah,
but or resumed the thing with Drake.
But the thing is, I think like Daytona is like an amazing rap project.
Same.
Like, just the production is amazing. Pusha T, like lyrically, he's just on point. Or, like every song.
I just feel like it's the perfect length. Like, it's just so quick. You're in and out, and you're like, that was great.
Yeah, because I like
a bit like you're saying, Melancholy. You know.
Yeah.
This is Pusha doing his sound and doing it well.
But then at the same time, it feels like it's different, because if you listen to Daytona, a lot of the beats are quite different to one, song to song.
Yeah.
So I feel like that benefits him.
Absolutely.
Lyrically, he rides different beats.
It's easily the best album out of that like month of albums that Good Music put out, because you had that, You had the Yay. Although no, Kitsy Ghost.
I was gonna say, yeah. I was about to fight. I was about to step in and fight you. I don't know.
Okay, it's definitely in the contention for best.
I would say it's that and Kitsy Ghost. Like,
easily.
Those are the top two. I liked Yay. I thought Yay was solid.
Yay is very fine. Like, I like it, and that's as far as I go with it. Like,
I don't know.
I wish he had a bit longer in the oven. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like there is an amazing. Because if you tell me, like, Kanye's short albums to me are his best albums. Like, Jesus is a fucking masterpiece, and that is so quick.
Yeah.
But this is like, it doesn't feel like he had a cohesive thought. It feel like he just was like, get out, sort of. To me,
kinda. I get what you mean.
You know,
obviously,
but I have that more and more with every Kanye album from Pablo onwards. To be fair, than you do. Like, I really feel like he went from the perfectionist to just like, here you go.
To an extent, but I feel like with that argument, you do have to include Pablo, because when Pablo dropped, it was a bit of a.
I am including Pablo onwards.
Yeah,
like, Pablo itself,
right.
Continuing through, I feel like as
the
much
focus,
as I enjoy Pablo, it is so unfocused.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. But the thing is, like, I love Life of Pablo, but you can't deny, like, the overall theme of the album and the mixture of sounds. It's not as focused as
Absolutely. It's the same thing I have with Views, where when people talk about Views, I can't really argue with them about it, but I'm like, I do enjoy it. You know what I mean? It is very unfocused. But the song, I feel like what you have with Pablo is what I have with Views. Where I'm like, I like hearing. Well, you've said before, like, it's like modern Kanye, like Kanye collabing with like current people. The sounds are very current. Like, most of, like, Fade could come out today and it would still fit right in.
I think a lot of Pablo, for 2016.
Yeah, I'm trying to think like the singles. You know what I mean? Like, okay, maybe not.
Father Stretch My Hands.
Yeah.
Famous.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, Famous, bro. If Famous dropped now, like, social media would, like, break.
Especially with Rihanna's kind of absence from music, because, like,
of course,
she pushed that party song way further than it should have gone. Like,
Believe It. Yeah.
Believe It is fine. I like the song, but why that's one of Party's biggest songs is purely because, like, oh shit, Rihanna.
Yeah, I mean, it is catchy.
It's catchy, but, like, no more so than any other single off that album, I don't think. You know, like that Loyal. Yeah, I really do. Like, aside from the hook,
but Loyal was quite popular in.
But obviously it's Drake.
Yeah, of course, it's
that's
cheat code.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then I guess, like, songs like The News, Split Decision, they're more old party R&B.
Yeah,
and, like, that doesn't chart.
Yeah,
really.
Of course.
Like, not now.
Definitely.
So,
which is weird because Brent Fires is so big. You know what? Like,
he's big, yeah, but
he's not like a superstar or anything. But Party could. I feel like he's just left that lane where he's just like, here you go.
Have you heard that new Party track?
Yeah, I really like it.
I thought it's quite good.
It feels like a leftover from Party Mobile.
Yeah,
I feel like
it's got that type of sound.
Yeah. Because I didn't listen to it at first because he did a couple singles recently and most of them were features. So where I didn't immediately recognize the artist's name, I was like, is this just another feature with an artist I haven't heard of?
Right, yeah.
And then I was like, oh, no way, it's a producer. So I listened to it and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And I also misread the title at first. I thought it was No Puss. And I was like, I'm not in the headspace to hear No Puss right now.
I relate to this. I get no girls.
I was like, damn, he's spitting on this one.
God damn.
But no, I did really like it. It's really catchy.
Yeah. The thing is, like,
that should have been a party single. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I think he's done work with this producer before, so maybe it was like, here you go, man. I want to boost your profile by making it a single for you. But that definitely could have been a party song.
Yeah, I don't know. Party. I don't know, man. You can see the potential of Party. I like his first 3 tapes are all, like, for me, they're, like, all amazing.
Absolutely.
P1, 2 and 3, and then what's after that? 7 Days.
No, then it's Colours 2.
Oh, then it's Colours 2. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I mean, also if we're including Colours in that, P1, P2, Colours,
P3
are all, like, And I even do like Colours 2 a lot. It's not as good,
Yeah.
but like that Freaking You, I love that song.
Freaking You is a tune, yeah. That's top tier Party.
I was gonna say, and like it's that new Party sound where it's kind of the Young Thug influence.
Which is weird that you say that, yeah. He like does that now with his voice. Yeah. Where he does that. It's like, what's that song? It is Freaking You, innit? It was like fresh.
Yeah, or there's a couple like that. Like I remember before 7 Days dropped, he dropped like 5 singles on SoundCloud, and they're all so like thug sounding. But yeah, like definitely a lot of Colours. That's why it's not as good for me, because it starts. He goes from having his sound to like he's good at it. Like don't get me wrong. Like I can see why he's so good a writer, because he can just jump between genres. But it is where I start to. I don't go in a party project anymore knowing what I'm going to hear.
True.
Necessarily.
Yeah.
Like even Pike Mobile is very song to song. Like there's that one on there where he sounds just like Thug. What's the one with the weird beat? Showing You. That is such a showing you. Like it's such a weird beat.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's doing that weird thing for his voice. But then you have like the news, where it's like here's a old or PGT or Another Day.
Yeah.
Those are very classic party sound, which is very strange to hear.
But like I really like Party Mobile. Like I think it's a perfect blend. Because it seems to me like Party realizes that like obviously the guap is in like the more mainstream sounding songs. I feel like a lot of artists do that.
I mean, I think all of OVO realized that, because Majid Jordan, their last album, which is great and you should listen to it, is very, like Khalid, where it's like R&B but it's pop.
Right, yeah.
Like not so much.
Isn't there a song with Khalid on there?
Yeah.
There is, isn't there?
Yeah. That's what that sound that I don't know why. I just, maybe because I like Khalid, but I just associate that sound with Khalid.
I mean, he kind of brought it.
Yeah,
I don't know. When he came about, it was like nostalgic pop.
It's like sad pop.
Yeah,
it's kind of slow. Like it's not like an Ed Sheeran where it's like this is a pop song.
Yeah. I get what you mean.
It's very much that sound, and they're also on his mixtape.
His new tape. Yeah, I haven't heard that actually.
It's really good actually. It's very. He kept comparing it to Sun City, and I see why. It's very like that sound.
Right.
But a bit slower in places. I do really like that tape, but yeah, like Majid Jordan, I think that last Division album was very
not as bad though. Not as talking about.
I like these albums. I should say that Majid Jordan album is great. This Division album I love.
No, but I mean not as in a bad as in it's a bad album. But I feel like Division stuck to their sound more than the others.
It's just very trap influenced. Whereas I don't associate that with them until that album.
Yeah.
They are very R&B, whereas in that, like, just look at the features. You get, like, Popcorn. You get Party on there.
Yeah, I mean...
I know he was technically on the album before, but a proper Party feature. Yeah. I really like the sound, and... Have you heard the snippets of their new album?
I haven't, no.
It sounds like they're going like full R&B. They've got like Jagged Edge on there.
Oh, really? Yeah.
It, like,
they're going like back a couple of years.
They're going like R&B on it.
But I feel like that's a good thing. Just like OVO, I think the appeal with OVO artists, at least early on, was there was diversity in the sounds. Like you had Party, who was like that 2011, 2013 New Toronto sound.
Yeah, like the trap soul, pre-trap soul.
Yeah, like Weekend sort of type stuff. You had Division, who were like pure R&B, like pure like old head
like,
R&B.
I was gonna say like,
and then
very old school.
You had Majid Jordan, Majid Jordan, which was like a blend of all three, and then Roy Woods. I like Roy Woods, but I feel like he just doesn't know what type of music he wants to make.
Yeah, same.
Which is
because a couple of his singles I have really liked recently. I like that fuck a COVID-19. What's that one? I just want to see your body on the beach. Whatever that one is, I really like that one. But yeah, for me it was when he started going in the trap sound. I was like, this don't work for me in the same way.
Yeah, it's like when he first. What's his first? Is it Exis? His first tape?
Exis, because that's got drama. That's got jealous.
Yeah.
Jealous.
Jealous.
Whatever it's called.
Yeah. Why are you so jealous?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the bangers.
Yeah. Literally, like the only Roy Woods tape you need.
If people go, I like Roy Woods, they're gonna know that tape.
Yeah.
You know, it's gonna be like, oh yeah, drama's a banger.
But it's like when I first listened to Roy Woods, I was like, rah, like he's there's potential here.
Yeah.
Like his voice is decent. Like the songs are decent. It's just I feel like he lost the identity.
Yeah, definitely.
Along the way, because then like what's after Waking at Dawn?
Is it that or Nocturnal?
Nocturnal's next.
Nocturnal.
But Waking at Dawn, he started doing the thing every other. He did the thing that every other OVO artist did, where they were like, oh, dance hall, like one dance.
To be fair, go on, big up yourself. It's a banger.
It's a tune, yeah. Don't get me wrong.
But he don't do that sound as good as Party.
Wait, I think it's just because he's not as versatile.
Yeah, definitely.
Like Party, he writes for how many artists? He produces for how many artists?
Well, and like the songs he's written for Rihanna have been like Rihanna's biggest songs in recent memory.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Work.
All you need is work.
Yeah, well, and he did Wild Thoughts.
Oh yeah, of course.
So like both of those alone are like her two biggest singles in recent memory.
I mean, yeah, she don't drop music. So.
But you know where she was in that like post anti onwards phase.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
All of her big singles were Party. Like he wrote those. I mean, even Sex With Me, he wrote. That's a banger.
I mean, the amount of stuff he's given to Drake as well.
Yeah, like. Absolutely. And yeah, it's very because I love OVO. I think they've got a great lineup.
Yeah.
Especially now they've added Popcorn, but I do feel like there's always that caveat of like you almost see them for what they could be.
Yeah, like
you're like, oh man, and to be fair, that seems true of anyone signed to an artist. Because even if you look at like good music, 9 out of 10 artists have ended up beefing Kanye. With the exception of Pusha T, I can't point to someone on that label and go, they met their potential. Because Designer, fucking.
Well, this is the thing, because obviously Cudi left. And started doing his thing again.
When does he leave?
He left. I don't know the exact time, to be honest with you. It was a decent while ago. It was definitely before Pablo. I want to say. I could be wrong.
Because to me, he feels like people forget he's not on good music, and even myself.
Well, yeah, because even that on that what's the fucking podcast that Ye went on? Drink Champs.
Yeah.
When Big Sean went on there, he mentioned that like people forget Cudi, like he wasn't on good music for a lot of the time.
Yeah.
He was just like because he was Ye's.
He's
friend.
Like what Party is to Drake. You know what I mean? Where people just so closely associate those artists.
Kinda, but Party is on OVO, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's what I mean. I feel like because people view Party like that, people view Cudi in the same way and forget, like, no, but he's not on good.
Yeah, literally.
And for ages, him and Kanye weren't even like talking.
For a good few years, yeah. It was like between only in the Pablo tour was when they started talking again. Yeah,
and that's the thing. Like, and then they fell out again.
Yeah,
because obviously Cudi was going through some shit. You know, and that's when he started, beefing Drake and Ye, because there's that Ye thing where it's like, don't speak on me, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Which I'm glad they're through.
No,
I should say.
Definitely, man. Ye and Cudi go.
I'm glad Cudi's in a better place, and I'm glad like if him and Drake want to do like a mixtape or something together, I'm here for it.
Who's that? Cudi and Drake.
Yeah, because I Miss You Too is a fucking.
I Miss You Too. Yeah, it's a tune.
That's one of the best songs on there, and it makes me sad because I'm like, we could have been getting this all along.
Well, that's the thing. It's weird because when
Cudi would have fit on More Life.
Well, the thing is, yeah, when you go back, like, what song is it? Is it it's on like I think it's Man on the Moon 1. One of the music videos, Drake is in there. And
yeah,
it's
like one of the big because they have the bottles. It's one of the big singles.
Is it Soundtrack to My Life or I can't remember. Let's do another fact. Let's do another fact check on this.
But like while you're doing that, like Drake was a big. You can see Cudi's influence on Drake. Like he shouts him out on. I don't know if you've ever heard his version of All of the Lights.
Yeah.
Like he shouts out Cudi on there.
I think it is Pursuit of Happiness. where Drake is in the video and they're just
they
popping
have the bottles and
champagne.
they slap them together.
Yeah.
It's that gift. That
It's
people
like they
always
were
use.
friends early on.
Yeah.
Because obviously Drake was coming about when Cudi was like at his biggest with like Man in the Moon 1 and 2. So it's weird.
I mean, I feel like Drake fell out with most people from early in his career, with the exception of like Wayne. You know,
Yeah.
like Nicki, he had a falling out with. Kanye.
I mean, yeah.
He was a Pusha T fan to start with.
Yeah.
You know what, like.
But the thing is, yeah, it's like with Drake is very humble when you think about it.
I mean,
it's like the first thing
the
he's
biggest artist in the world.
No, but
to some degree.
and considering that he's humble. Like the first thing he said when Ye and Drake did the Larry concert,
yeah,
he was like, "Oh, like this is one of my favorite artists." Blah 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 blah. Like
that takes a lot.
Yeah. After all of that,
I was like, wow.
After all of that, he's still like. Because he's been saying that since so early in his career, how big Ye was an influence on him, and how much of a fan he was.
At first, I wasn't sure how they're like squashing the beef would go, because remember there was when they did that post where both of them were together listening to Knife Talk or whatever.
Yeah.
The caption was like, "You've reached your destination," which is obviously referencing 5 a.m. on Bridle Path.
Right. Yeah.
Where it's like, make that your destination. Blah,
Yeah.
So I was like, he's still
to your driver.
dig it. He's not dissing you, but it's still like a dig in a way. You know what I mean? Like, it's still like, yeah, I won. You know? So I was surprised when he was so like, this is my guy.
Yeah.
Kanye's my idol. Which I respect, and I'm glad, because like, at the end of the day, all I give a shit about is the music. That's what I'm here for. I want my favorite artists to make music together at the end of the day. Yeah. And I did like that... the performance they did.
And apparently Drake chose Ye's setlist.
No way. That's fucking insane.
I don't know how accurate that is. Don't quote me. But I heard like...
that was a mad setlist.
Because I know, like, you know, everyone was drawing out Drake, trying to say, oh, his set compared to Ye's was like mid.
Even if he didn't pick Ye, he deliberately fell back.
I honestly, no, I think even Ye came out and said it. That Drake picked his setlist.
No way, I didn't.
I'm pretty sure that's true.
I mean, even... regardless of that, the fact Drake didn't try and compete, which I'm sure if you're a Ye stan and hate Drake, you're going to argue like, yeah, that's because he can't. It's because he's banger to banger. He's not going to win, which maybe, I don't really want to get into that, but...
I feel like we should get into that.
I think it's very humble of him to just go, I'm just going to play my new stuff.
Yeah, no,
he didn't
of course.
play a song earlier than God's Plan.
It definitely felt like he was trying to give the shine to Ye.
Although Ye should have done God's Plan rather than Find Your Love. I like Find Your Love, but I mean, imagine like God's Plan was a choir.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, again, like
I think that would have been. I don't like God's Plan for that performance they gave. I think it'd have been perfect.
Right. Yeah.
Like, you know, just the.
Because which song did Drake do?
He did
Off Thunder
24, which is maybe my favorite song on there.
It slapped.
It was beautiful.
It slapped.
Like, I loved hearing him do that. And where he was shouting out everyone, he's like, "Yeah, it's not finished." Drake's like, I want to hear that. I'm gutted that one on like the deluxe of Donda.
Yeah.
Which is fun. Where you were talking about Ye not being a lyrical rapper, I feel like Andre's track on there just showed the difference between a lyrical rapper and
I feel like Andre would do that to a lot of people.
But you know what? Like, when you think lyrical rappers, it's like him, and he just like. Even if, as you said, I love Ye, but just the difference between a lyrical rapper and him. I mean, even to some degree, I feel like Drake is a much more lyrical rapper when he wants to be than Ye. Like, I can't picture Ye doing, you know, those songs that, like Drake's album closers, where he's just rapping.
Right. I mean, even some of his openers.
Yeah. To be fair.
Like Tuscan Leather.
Yeah,
keep the family close.
Although Drake dips out of rap more often than Ye, in some ways I consider him more of a rapper than Ye. It's very weird. Like, Ye very rarely leaves that genre.
But modern Ye, I would say. Like,
oh yeah, definitely.
Because OG Ye was like, he was very current at the time.
Oh yeah,
but he was also quite...
When I talk about Ye, I don't consider like the first 3 albums. That's like a different artist in my mind.
Which is so weird, isn't it? It is like two separate people.
Not because they're bad. I should suppose like those are amazing albums. They're just so different.
They are.
I can't compare them.
Well, it's like if you tried saying, what do you prefer, College Dropout or Yeezus? You're gonna be like, well, what? Like, one is like
how do
punk
I
rap.
to compare those?
Yeah.
Even to like Twisted Fantasy, I'm like, I don't even know where I would, because the sound is so different.
Well, this is the thing, because
808s is such a sharp like detour.
Yeah.
Where it's like you had this sound, and now we're going in this direction.
Yeah.
You know, whereas Drake has been consistent in his sound, although he's gotten more trappier at points, or more, you know, influenced by Afrobeats or whatever, you know, the sound he's sort of chasing is at that point.
Yeah, he hasn't done a whole shift of sound as an album concept like Ye has.
He doesn't do concept albums.
Yeah, because he's consistently done it. Like 808s is a pure, I don't know what you would call it. It's like a
yeah, it's like that auto tune.
He's using auto tune. It's more electronic.
Yeah, definitely.
As a whole concept, Yeezus is like a not pop. Sorry, it's like a punk metal rap infusion.
How because we sometimes talk about this, but we haven't talked about this in a while. How do you feel about 808s?
808s. It's weird because I'll be honest, I don't listen to 808s a ton.
I feel like it hasn't like aged well. Because to me, if I want that sound, I'll put like Man on the Moon 1 on, or Take Care.
It's weird that you say that, yeah, because
it's very rare I go, I really want, like the singles like Heartless, or I really like Coldest Winter.
Yeah, or the one with Hudson and Cuddy. What's that? Fuck.
What with Cuddy, Welcome to Heartbreak.
No.
Oh, In the Night.
I don't care like I do.
Oh. Streetlights is it Streetlights on there? That's a banger.
Streetlights is a banger.
I can't think of what you're talking about.
What song is it?
Because Cuddy's all over that album, which maybe is
Paranoid. You're so paranoid.
I don't really remember that one.
And then Cuddy's on the chorus. Yeah.
Yes, it's very weird. Like, it is a good album. I'm not gonna argue. Like, it's actually bad. You were all wrong. 808s is a bad album.
Trash.
I'm not gonna argue that. But it to me, it's the only Ye album where it feels dated. Maybe because of the influence it had, where just everyone after 808s, I feel like, is chasing that sound.
The way I
Even
always
Drake.
try to think about it is, how would people react if the album dropped today? If 808s dropped today, how do you think it would be received?
I don't know, because now it's so influential, where like Juice WRLD, his sound was so influenced by
so many people though. So many people
but that,
off 808s.
You know that genre of like him, Lil Peep, that kind of...
Yes. I want a quick side point. I feel like a lot of people give more credit to 808s than they should give to Cuddy.
Yeah,
because
definitely.
because Man on the Moon 1,
absolutely.
like, if you're talking about rappers talking about like mental health, their feelings, stuff like that, Man on the Moon 1 was the album. Like, if you listen to that as like a fucking depressed teenager, like, yeah, everyone talks about that album.
Literally,
like, so many people say this.
I mean,
I relate to this.
Well, I don't know about at the moment, but what was one of the biggest rappers in the world, Travis Scott, literally is named after Cuddy.
Yeah.
You know, like, and the influence.
He literally says in an interview, like, he is like his biggest inspiration.
Yeah, and he says like, Cuddy saved my life. Like,
yeah.
And I mean, Drake, whoever you want to look at, Weeknd.
Yeah,
I mean,
they all show love to Cuddy, which is like a massive thing.
But would they... This is where it gets complicated. Would they know about him if 808s didn't exist? Is 808s like the gateway, where you listen to 808s and you're like, I really like this sound. What else sounds like this? And you go, oh, let me listen to this Kid Cudi guy.
I think that's fair. I mean...
I don't know about... But I'm talking about back then. Obviously now... Especially in the age of streaming, you know what I mean? Like,
I will say, Man on the Moon.
We don't find artists in the same way.
Yeah, I know Man on the Moon 1. Like, it was big at the time.
Yeah, I mean, Day and Night was everywhere.
Yeah.
It still is. You still sometimes hear it in the car, especially that remix.
Yeah, the fucking Crookers. Crookers remix.
I've heard that like 3 or 4 times in the club, which is funny because you don't hear anything else in that style in the club.
Yeah.
Like. Cuddy is not a sound you're gonna hear in the club.
I mean, yeah, because, but yeah, it's just it's weird because everyone credits Ye, but I feel like Cuddy, because Cudi, he has a lot of influence on 808s.
Definitely.
So you can see
that. I think
Ye bringing him in.
Yeah, that's part of what dates it for me. Is like I just look at it and I'm like, yeah, but this is a Cudi album. In a way, like the influence, I can't separate. When I listen to it, I just go, "Oh, I want to listen to Cudi." Sort of thing. And then I'll just put on Man on the Moon because that's a fucking masterpiece.
Yeah,
you know
literally.
What I mean? Or Man on the Moon 2.
But it's like you said, the thing I said earlier, where if an album dropped now, how do you think it'd be received? Like, don't get me wrong, fucking, I love Kid Cudi, but if Man on the Moon 1 dropped now, I think people would call it dated.
Interesting. I mean, the thing is, that's partly because it's so influential, you know, like because we've heard so many things that are derivative of that,
and that's the thing.
Oh, this again,
because you've seen so many clones of that sound.
Put that aside, I think it would be bigger now than it was then.
You think?
Because I feel like mental health in rap. You know, you've had your Juice WRLDs, you've had your whoever's you want to look at, where you know their discography is so about like. I'm suffering. Yeah,
but then you could argue it's more normal now, whereas back then it wasn't.
But I think that would bring an audience. I feel like so many songs I listen to them now. I'm like, this is off on TikTok day and night. I can picture the challenge now. Like you see the outfit in the daytime, and then they like stamp.
It
on
already
the camera
does though, doesn't it?
What, do they?
It's day and night. Does already go off on TikTok, doesn't it?
I'm not on TikTok, so I don't know.
I mean, even my no, I'm joking. I know. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a few Cudi tracks that are like popular.
That wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, because I saw him tweet a while ago.
Yeah, he was like, fucking don't use my shit on TikTok or something. He like didn't like it or something.
Yeah, I can't remember what song it was though. I don't think it was Day and Night.
It might not be Day and Night. I know it was one of his older songs though. But it wasn't like.
I feel like his older bangers are just so like. There's so many songs like streaming is so weird because you look at an artist like Kanye, and I'll be like, wow, their streams are low for what they should be. You know what, like. How does this album have this few streams? Like, Gorgeous only just went platinum.
That's crazy to me.
And I'm like, wow, what a different era. Nowadays, everything like drops in as platinum immediately. I feel like.
But then
doing plat only.
The one thing, in terms of that, Kissland, on Spotify, that the streams on that are fucking shocking. Like, Live For is the biggest stream song, and that's just because it has Drake. But I was looking at some of the stats. Like, if you look about the amount of streams Kissland has, it's surprisingly low.
I don't know, but because to me, it is a niche album.
It is, but
I love it. I'm not.
Weekend. Like, when you go back and look at the streams that Trilogy has now, they're quite normal.
Always massive. Like,
to an extent.
When you look back on it, it was very middling received. And still is to this day. I'll watch reviews and stuff of people that love Weekend. And some of them will still go Kissland. Like it'll be like Marmite. They'll either be like, "This is a fucking masterpiece," or they'll just be like, And it's weird because even when I watch things going over his whole career, Kissland's kind of a footnote,
right?
Which is which is weird because to me, without that, you don't get Weekend today.
No,
if that album
this is the thing.
Flop, you don't get pop star.
Of course,
Weekend.
Because the whole shift of his sound was because Kissland failed.
Absolutely.
He went pop because Kissland failed.
100%.
He was like, "Oh, fuck this! Like the dark pop type of shit ain't working."
Although I will say, he says he was doing an album between Kissland and Beauty, where it was like experimental and weird.
But then he took that year out.
Influenced by like Nirvana. I'm like, I want to hear that.
Of course, but
please.
But I feel like, because remember, between like Kissland and Beauty, he like took a break from dropping 100%. Albums.
Yeah, I mean, you get
the Madness and
you get King of the Fallen often.
And often,
that's them, isn't it? And Earned It. Earned It sort of starts his rise back up to the pop sensation, but
yeah.
Definitely, I get what you mean, but it is a very, as I said, it's a very niche album. I feel like if it hadn't flopped, would Weekend be as big as he is now? Because he wouldn't have gone pop. I don't know.
It really depends, because
or would he be more cult?
Kissland, it has.
I love Weekend. Would he be more like a Brent? Where like not everyone knows Brent.
I don't know.
But like, if you're into that sound, you're like, man, I
love
just, Brent.
I feel like a lot of people agree that like House of Balloons trilogy was very, it it advanced the sound quite a lot.
100%.
People like, it's like a common opinion. It's like this.
I mean, yeah, like
that dark, moody.
The amount of
R&B.
artists I listen to these days, and I'm like, oh yeah, I see.
Yeah. But then it's like, even Kissland, it did have like Wanderlust is it's I know it's long, but it's like just a pop song.
Which one?
Wanderlust.
Yeah,
it's just a pop song. It's kind of like.
I mean, he's always been going. I mean, even if you go back to Echoes, Dirty Diana.
I know, yeah. It is a cover, but
I feel like he's always been. That's always been his goal. Not necessarily like.
I don't know though.
Like his end point. You know what I mean? I've always felt like the thing he wants is global domination. I'm not saying like he dropped Thursday and was like, this is gonna be a pop smash. But that's not what I mean. I just mean like I feel like he has always been pursuing that.
But I wonder if in his mind originally he was gonna get to that stage by releasing his music, his sound, because from the sound of it, the way he talks about it, Kissland in his head was gonna be like massive. And if it did do numbers, I want to know. Would get beauty?
I'm going to blame all of you that were old enough to listen to it in 2012, because I was like, what, 13? So like I weren't listening to Kissland. But you people that were old enough and said it was trash, shame on you.
Shocking behaviour.
Shocking behaviour. Absolutely shameful. You wake up every morning knowing you wrote off Kissland. And those people have the audacity to be like, I don't like Pop Weekend.
And no one knows about Old Weekend though. Who knows about Kissland? No.
You heard of Wicked Games?
Yeah. What about Adaptation? I'm Loving the Sky.
Yeah, it's so, his evolution is so interesting.
It's so weird because even when you look at the year after Kissland, Often and King of the Fool, like fucking arguably two of his best tracks. Like,
yeah.
In terms of like fucking moody sex music, Often is probably top.
Yeah, I mean everyone knows Often.
Which is weird because it's pure sex and filth.
Honestly,
and
like, I don't get it. Like the songs, people will go like, "That's a bit too much for me." I'm like, but you. Like,
it's like people got aggy about Lost in the Fire.
Oh yeah, I mean, the thing with Lost in the Fire is I think the style of it is so like it doesn't stand out. It's like
it doesn't, but
it's like Starboy Hurt You. That
it's
like
the same
very,
beat, yeah.
Which is whereas Often, I don't know another Weekend sound that's on the same level as Often, where it's got that weird Turkish sample, like you know, nothing else sounds like. If someone came up to me, they were like, I listened to a couple of Weekend songs. I don't really love them, but Often.
I guess like
Montreal. Yeah,
that's kind of got that the sample like and
sex. That's more like I'm depressed, which is the two Weekends. You know,
the two moods,
having sex or depressed or
both, all three.
Yeah. Or cocaine doesn't bring me happiness. Help me, please, God, help me.
Yeah,
which is it is interesting to see that evolution, and now like with Dawn FM, I don't know where you go from there. You know, like I don't know what's the because he's talking about this is a trilogy.
Yeah.
Because you can't go more pop than that. So I'm just like I don't know what the next sound is.
But you don't know how he sees it in his mind, because obviously After Hours, it's a mix of like the moody R&B and pop.
It feels like the pop version of Trilogy to me.
That's
what I always consider it. Whereas stuff like Beauty or Starboy or even Melancholy, I don't view like that.
Right. Yeah.
Whereas to me, I think the reason it clicked so much with people because it was like, here's my old sound but cleaner. You know what I mean? It's a bit more refined.
Yeah, kind of.
It's still like the same subject matter, but it just feels a bit less. Where you're like, fuck, man,
and
you
then
need to sort out your life.
Obviously, Dawn FM is pop with hints of his old themes.
Yeah, it's like upbeat music that is dark. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
if you look at the lyrics, you're like,
theme.
oh, this is quite dark. Yeah, and especially the theme of it being like purgatory almost.
But then it's like You say that, then what if the third album is fucking dark?
Yeah, it could be.
Saying
I mean,
afterlife.
that,
if it is like this idea of afterlife.
Well, and if I'm supposed to take any stock in Every Angel is Terrifying, where he's like graphic, sexy,
provocative.
Like maybe it is some dark, booky. Like I don't know. I'm just saying if it's, because when you tell me heaven, afterlife, I think of like pure pop. But he's already done that with this last album, so I don't know.
But how do you know he's going to heaven?
But that's what I'm saying. I don't know. I'm just saying if it is that, I don't know how it will progress. Because the thing you said about this album that I agree with is like, it's short, but if it was any longer, I think it would overstay its welcome.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm like, I don't think he can do another album, especially this 80s sound.
See, I agree and I disagree. I think the sound isn't the issue. It's the way he uses the sound.
Yeah.
Because After Hours and Dawn FM, even though overall they're using the 80s aesthetic, they are different.
Oh, 100. I don't agree with people that say After Hours is an 80s album. Like, I don't see it. Outside of Blinding Lights.
There's an inspiration, but I don't think Dawn FM is like an 80s.
That's what I'm saying.
Pure.
That is what Dawn FM is. Like, it is an 80s throwback sound. Modernized, obviously. It's not just the 80s, but the influences there, whereas... Okay, there's synths on After Hours, but I don't listen to it and think of the 80s outside of Blinding Lights, really, or... Yeah, I mean, like, I don't listen to Alone Again and think of, like, oh, yeah, this reminds me of the 80s, man. You know what I mean? Like, it don't really have the same clear influence.
Right.
Like, as I said, I get it. The synths, the sound is inspired... But it's not quite as just here's the 80s.
No, of course. It's like
Dawn was.
It's like Too Late is basically a melancholy song when you deep it.
I mean, quite a few on that. I feel like Alone Again is.
Yeah.
I mean, even After Hours, the song feels very classic Weekend. It's very long. It's quite dark. Like that's one of the dark songs on there. Where it's like Put Myself to Sleep.
It's just where the main singles like. In Your Eyes, Blinding Lights, Save Your Tears, they are a throwback sound. Yeah. Which is why I think people view it as a...
But the thing with them is I don't feel like it's just the 80s, because you have like, with Save Your Tears, that feels more like 2000s to me. You know what I mean? Like a bit like, I always compare it to Summer Games of Scorpion. They feel very like 2000s throwback sounds.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Whereas Blinding Lights reminds me of like that. Is it Aha? What's that song?
Take On Me.
Take On Me. You know, it's that sound.
No, 100%. Yeah.
Whereas I
same with In Your Eyes though.
Yeah,
like that's
Your Eyes
a
is very,
throwback.
yeah, the saxophones. But yeah, it's a very strange out, because it also feels a lot. You know, he always compared Kissland to it's a horror movie. It's fucking frightening. To me, After Hours is that realized.
Yeah.
Like maybe it's partly because of the music videos. So many of them are so like horror influenced. Like In Your Eyes is a fucking Halloween reference. Too Late is like that weird, like the two chicks where they fucking killed the guy.
They have his severed head.
Reminds me of Goodnight Mummy, where she's got the fucking bandages on her face. Like maybe that's part of what's influenced, but just the subject matter of like it's way too late to save our souls. Like everything about that album feels dark. You know, the album starts with like Alone Again, where it's like took too much, I don't want to die. You know, it feels like a bad trip.
But that's the thing. It feels when the album dropped, I was like, this feels like a stretched out melancholy.
Definitely.
Where it's like,
because I remember our big thing was we want melancholy the
bigger.
Album.
Yeah, which I think
or
After Hours is.
Or whatever he was. Cause
it like takes the blend of the moodiness, the pop sound, and it kind of stretches it out.
Because I do think this idea of doing a second trilogy has been with him for a while. Because I remember when Melancholy dropped, he was teasing that like there's going to be a part 2 to Melancholy. And then obviously it turned into After Hours. But I think this idea of doing a trilogy part 2 has always been with him.
I mean,
you know what? Like, I don't know what.
It's just weird that he went with the 80s sound.
Yeah, as I said,
to make it.
I mean, the Weeknd is an artist I don't assumed to know what his next sound is going to be, because he's surprised me at every time. After Beauty,
you got
Starboy surprised me.
Yeah.
After Starboy, Melancholy surprised me. After Melancholy, After Hours, it shouldn't have, but it did still surprise me.
Yeah.
Maybe because it was an album I thought was going to go right back to Starboy. I thought he was going to be like a Drake, where it's like, okay, every album is going to be a bit messy, a bit overlong, and you just pick the songs you like and go from there.
Yeah.
And then even after Hours to Dawn, I mean, I think we both had the first reaction to Dawn, where we were like, what the fuck is this?
When I first listened to Dawn, I was like, this is like mediocre. I was like, I don't know, like what the vision was here. And then second listen, I was like, yeah, this is amazing.
I was gonna say it clicked. But yeah, same. First listen, I was like,
and like you said, I think it's just because I didn't expect it.
Definitely.
I didn't expect him to go.
Which or finish that thought before I.
No, I was gonna say I didn't expect him. I wouldn't say regress, but it's like the moodiness from After Hours is taken out, and it's just replaced with. It's the emphasis on the whole pop upbeat type of sound, but the overall theme of the album is still dark.
I was gonna say that's
which is what I like.
Thing. I see a lot of people say this is the Weeknd's most hopeful, uplifting album, and I'm like, but if you listen to it,
but that's what, yeah,
it ends with Less Than Zero, which is like, I'm a fuck up. You're never gonna love me.
And then the outro with Jim Carrey is. Like,
you go
fucking dark.
I mean, just the whole idea of this is a radio station you hear when you're dying.
And when you look at it from that concept, it works perfectly.
I will say, I still need to listen to it after Hours, because he's saying this is truly. I want to hear them together and see how the story.
Right.
Because After Hours has a story and Dawn FM has a story. I want to see how they link.
Yeah, I will say, I think Dawn is more cohesive than After Hours.
Cohesive, yes, but After Hours tries a lot more.
It tries a lot more, but in
it's
a way,
also a bit longer, to be fair.
It is longer. It is longer, especially if you include the deluxe.
Yeah,
but like, I don't know, man. It's when you listen to Dawn FM, it feels like it goes by so quickly.
Yeah, definitely.
Which is like a positive.
And it has that thing where you listen to one song and you want to listen to the rest.
It just flows so well.
Yeah, it's an interesting album. I'm interested to see how I feel about it, like, because it's about a month since it dropped, and obviously I'm very positive on it at the moment. Like, I want to see how I'll feel in 6 months after it drops, sort of thing. Like, as time goes on, how is my feelings gonna sort of evolve with this album? Whereas often I feel like I hear an album and that's it. That's my thoughts on it these days. You know, it's very rare. Especially as dramatically as it changed with Dawn FM, where I went from like, I don't really care for this to, man, I fucking love this.
Yeah,
you
literally.
know. I listened to a review, Dead End Hip Hop, Mike Seatown. I really like his opinions on a lot of music, even though I don't really agree most of the time. I think he like articulates himself really well. And with Weeknd, he said, like, this album, after I heard After Hours, this isn't the sound I wanted,
right?
But the sound he's done here is like flawless, and I 100%.
You know what? Yeah, I agree with that as well. Yeah.
I after I heard After Hours, I wasn't like, just give me an 80s album.
Yeah, pure.
But hearing it, it's like, man, I like, for what he aimed to do, this is flawless.
And that's what I mean. Because when you first hear it, you're like, I don't know if this is the direction I wanted. But like you said, when you listen to it the second and third time, you're like, you can't deny, like, the music is so good, you forget about that.
Which is funny, because this is definitely his most controversial album since Kissland. Because Beauty was like acclaimed when it dropped. Starboy, okay, like, as time went on, people kind of turned on that album, but when it dropped, it was enormous. Everyone loved it.
It was.
And Melancholy, people loved. After Hours, people loved. This was the first Weeknd album in a long time where it's dropped, or project in a long time where it's dropped, and people have kind of been like, I don't know about this one.
Yeah.
And then you've seen the kind of, a bit like with Kissland, you've seen people revisit it and
over time. They're like, you know what?
Which is funny because he kept comparing it to Kissland in his interviews, and I don't think stylistically it's
but the idea that the music is so good you can't deny. Like, you have to just accept, like, this is quality. we drifted quite far
I was
from
gonna
the
say,
original
we went
topic.
a long way from Yay.
So
We talked about Yay for like 5 minutes. And
maybe we should take a quick back step to the original point. Okay, you know what? Let's get controversial.
Let's get controversial.
Controversial.
Oh, thank you. I didn't know.
You know how we do it. We're getting controversial.
Well,
so you need some
sweetheart.
alcohol.
Let's get controversial. Pause, Ben, another shot.
Havana Club, sponsor us. Okay.
Aren't they the ones sponsoring Skepta, right?
That's correct. Yeah, they did a collab, innit? I was trying to get you
Don't Start Havana Club.
Skepta. I was trying to get you the Skepta one, but they didn't have it.
It's alright.
Disappointment.
It's delicious, man.
It's nice, isn't it?
Or dark? It's just dark, isn't it?
It doesn't actually say.
Yeah, actually, if you don't say spiced, I assume it's just
Amber coloured rum.
Yeah. Delicious.
With notes of vanilla.
Notes of vanilla. Oh, that's us. That's gonna be our podcast.
Yeah, notes of vanilla. That's a sick name, you know.
We're changing the name.
Yeah.
It's talking about music, so notes of vanilla. Oh.
It's mad. And notes is in fucking conversation.
That's it.
We're there.
What idiot came up with "Don't Start"? Get that fucking guy out of here.
So, okay, back to the original point. Donda 2, is it dropping?
Absolutely not. Podcast over. No, 100% not, because we've heard nothing. I don't even believe Future is executive producing this album.
Yeah, I mean, it was a weird.
I feel like he just said it.
Yeah,
you know, for the the headline. Like
it was weird when it came out. I was like, really? Like
these guys have worked together on one song, I think.
Yeah,
that's it. To my knowledge, maybe they've done more. Maybe they've done like 2 songs, but I'm sure it's just. Is it Honest? That album, they have the one song, I think. So yeah, even when it came out, I was like, I mean, any Kanye release date you look at and you go, bullshit. Like, the only Kanye album to be on time in recent memory is Yay, right? And even then, that's not an album.
Yeah.
It was just that and Kids See Ghosts, I think.
Yeah, because Pablo was like nearly a year.
I was going to say, it was hella late.
I know 808s was early,
I think. Yeah, 808s was early and Twisted Fancy was the day, I think.
Right.
But since then, I think every single Kanye album's been late. You know, and he always announced his albums. Like, I don't believe him. You know, oh yeah, I'm doing a collab album with this person. When he said he was doing a collab album with Drake, I was young as hell and I still didn't believe it. I was like, yeah, sure.
Did you see that picture of him, Drake, Future, Young Lean?
Is that who that was?
Yeah.
Know who the white boy was.
They were all, apparently it was a listening party.
Yeah, I mean, I looked into it a bit closer. The listening party was at Nobu, and then they went to a second venue and met Drake. And the article was like, we don't know if the listening party continued or not. Is Drake on the album, and why is the answer yes?
I think he has to be.
He has to be.
How can you not? After all that.
It was also funny. Did you see Kanye post, like, where he's talking about this documentary that's coming out about him? He's like, Drake needs to be on the album.
Yeah, he wants him to narrate it.
Yeah. I was confused if he was saying Drake wants to narrate it or I want Drake to narrate it.
I think it was I want.
Probably. Let's be real.
But you know, that'd be hilarious. He's got fucking Drake saying, yeah, at 15 in Chicago, in the Shy.
I'm here for it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't believe a word that man says.
Yeah, I mean, you're naive to think it will drop on the 22nd.
I mean, I hope it does. Don't get me wrong. I'm
yeah,
not
of
like,
course.
Yeah, fuck that album, but
yeah.
I mean, the fact. Have you seen Future teasing a single?
I haven't, no.
It's quite funny. He has a video where he's like being interviewed, and he's on about addictions. He's like, yeah, I'm addicted to Chanel, Burberry, and the guy's like, how much have you spent on women? He's like, about 2 to 3, and the guy's like, 2 to 3,000, good. And then he's like, no, a million.
God damn.
And the guy's like, huh? And he's like, yeah, I see a bad bitch, I just gotta spend on it.
You'll be your future, innit?
Like, and then like the title of the single pops up. I'm hyped. I'm ready for a new Future project.
Yeah. What was his last tape?
It was High Off Life, right?
High Off Life, yeah.
Which was 2 years ago. So.
2020.
Yeah. I remember it dropped during lockdown.
Oh,
what a time! High off life. I was not high off life during lockdown. I'll tell you that.
High off fucking daily walks.
High off Verdansk.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited for a new Future album. I don't know if he's actually executive producing this Kanye one.
Well, this is the thing, because executive producer, it doesn't actually mean he's making the beats and that. It just means he's like the overseer of the theme, that type of stuff, innit? So I wonder what that will mean. Yeah. Obviously, the fuck my wife sort of idea might help with having Future on board, but
I don't necessarily believe it's gonna happen, sort of thing. I was like, why is this not charging? There we go.
That's it.
Yeah. You know, I don't necessarily believe it's gonna happen, but if it is, Kanye and Future can make a banger. Regardless of executive producing and stuff like that. I think they've got hits in them.
Yeah, I mean, undoubtedly. Yeah.
Future can make a banger. He has a song with fucking Taylor Swift.
He's got a song with Maroon 5.
Yeah, you know, like, he can make a song with anyone. But as I said, the fact I saw Future teasing a single told me Donda isn't coming out. Because I'm like, why would he drop a single if he's doing this whole album? You know, like, it's just sort of, yo, you guys hyped for that Kanye album? Well, I'm also doing mine. I don't think it's happening. I
mean, I feel like, he gets in the studio for like a couple of sessions. Maybe he has a few tracks that sound promising. And he's like, album. 100%. This is an album. This will be an album.
Yeah, definitely.
Because like Donda was like, how many times?
He had it perfect the first time and should have, or the second time. The time Weekend was on Hurricane.
And Push was on it.
Yeah,
Cudi was on Moon.
Off the Grid. What was he on originally? I think it was off. Whatever Push was on originally.
And then Cudi was on Moon. Yeah. Originally.
The slop, blub, 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 blub.
I am no.
Why did he bring that guy back?
Well, he extended it as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's like he's fucking with us. He's like, yeah, Cudi's back. And so's the slip, blub, 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 blub. And you're like, oh no.
Fuck.
Not this. I'm going to see him when I have sleep paralysis tonight.
For real though. Like, what's going on?
Very strange choice. Good for him though. I'll see him on What a weird name Donda 2 is, by the way. My Mother 2.
Yeah, I mean, but I wonder what it means, like why he's making it a sequel.
I wonder if part of it's just like the hype.
I think, where's Donda gained traction? He's like, let's continue now.
Let's do Donda 2. Whatever that means. I don't think even... The thing is also, with not just the release dates change, the names change. How many times have you announced an album and like the final name is like...
I mean, yeah.
It's all to do with it.
All the time, yeah.
Donda was God's Country, like Pablo was Waves.
Yeah, Waves.
Like, so many albums have a name, and then it's like, Yandi was Donda, and then Yandi was God's Country, then Donda was Donda, and then there was Donda, and then there was the actual Donda we got.
Yeah, changed the cover a couple of times.
We had a whole track list for Donda.
Yeah, literally. I remember it was meant to drop in like summer of the year before.
Yeah.
And it literally took nearly a year.
Well, I mean, we were supposed to get that Dr. Dre version of Jesus is King.
Yeah, good point.
So this is the thing. When Kanye announces anything, I'm like, okay. Like, if it comes out, I'll be surprised and pleasantly so, but I don't really put stock in him being like, yeah, new album coming. Like, yeah, sure.
Yeah. I feel like as like a fan, you're always like hopeful.
Yeah, of course.
And
like,
part of you expects
anyone
it.
announces a project, I'm going to be hyped. Like, oh yeah, sick.
Yeah, but I feel like with him, you should just reserve judgment until 100%. You actually see it on Spotify or something. I remember the Dondas drop out. Like
we were at work.
Yeah.
And we were in the lunchroom, and I just went Donda drop.
I was like, what? Are you sure?
I remember all of us were like, huh?
Yeah. After all the fucking release date pushes.
And it just dropped out on a Sunday out of the blue.
Yeah.
Which is where the fans come in. And they're like, that's why it sold less than Certified Lover Boy.
Oh, just Donda. Why was it like? It was like censored. It was all clean.
I don't mind an album having no swearing, but just say that. You know, like when the artist goes in the booth, be like, "Hey, I don't want any swearing on this album," so they record it without swearing.
Right.
Because I hate radio clean, like da 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 da. Like, I hate it.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, like, say something.
Well, that's the thing.
Here
And
I go with a new chick.
yeah.
Even though the last line was rich, you can tell he was like, here I go with a new.
But especially with the
chick.
features. With the features, it's even more
Oh, the
noticeable.
Lil Baby one pisses me off.
It's just like, why ask them to do a feature and why clear the feature if you're just gonna?
There's another one on like the second to last track. The group, what's their name? Like every other lyric they have is like censored, and I'm like, come on, man. Off the Grid suffers because it's censored.
But it's like when the Free Stacks verse didn't make it to the album, the song didn't make it to the album.
Yeah.
Andre came out and said, "Oh, it's because he thought his verse had cursing."
Yeah.
But then it's like all the songs didn't have cursing. Yeah. So why did he not just cut?
I assumed it was Andre heard it without cursing and went, "This ain't as good." That's what I interpreted his statement as. I don't know if that's what he meant.
I thought he was trying to say, "Oh, I understand why it didn't make the album."
Yeah.
Because Ye wanted it to be an album without cursing.
I need to look at what he said again. Yeah.
So it's weird that it didn't initially drop.
Maybe it was he didn't want to have a song going at Drake as hard as that original version did.
Maybe.
Because it's different on the album, innit?
Yeah.
It's not the one Drake leaked, where it's like, I can't remember what the bar is, but he goes at Drake. I don't think that's on the new one. Could be wrong.
I'm not too sure, to be honest.
The Donda isn't my favourite Kanye album, so I don't listen to it a ton outside of like Hurricane or Jail or 24.
Yeah, I don't know, like, I like Donda a lot. It is way too long. And the part 2s make no sense. It's like, pick one.
Pick a side.
Yeah. Like, you don't need 2 parts to every song.
Definitely. Yeah,
But when you think about what we got...
I like it. It's like a slightly less good Pablo to me. Like, it's a mixed bag, but the songs on there I really like.
Yeah, same. Same.
You know, as I said, you already like Pablo more than me to begin with, but it does very much feel like he made a sequel to Pablo, where it's like, I want a long album, just do all these
mash up of genres, yeah, tons of features,
and they're all modern as well. I'm not going back.
Yeah,
I'm not doing collabs with old artists. I want new artists. I want Lil Baby on here. I want fucking Fabio Foreign,
Baby Keem.
Yeah, they're all cutting edge artists.
Yeah,
which is very. I mean, Pablo was even before like Post Malone like properly blew up. You know?
Yeah, no, it was literally before.
It obviously White Iverson must have been out and that, but it weren't like Bibongs and Bentleys. Like, he's everywhere. You know what I mean? Now everyone knows who Post Malone is. He's not just the White Iverson guy, right?
I mean, even Dollar Sign, like Dollar Sign was still gaining traction back then.
Yeah,
he wasn't as big as he was now, and he was on Pablo. Definitely. Quite a bit.
Well, he's been on every Kanye album since then, right?
He was on Ye. He was obviously on Donda.
He's on Jesus King.
Yes, yeah, he is. Yeah.
He's on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, and I like. And obviously, originally he was on the original Donda with New Body.
New Body.
That's the biggest missed.
Rest in peace, New Body.
Biggest missed opportunity in music.
What a banger.
All he had to do was finish his verse, change the beat, and it would have been
New West.
Because he does that thing where he's like mumbling something, you know?
Yeah.
Like, nobody ever did what you did.
Yeah.
And the beat is like very simplistic. It's like
it is, but it still slaps.
Like me on my recorder in year 5. It slaps, but like I know that wouldn't have been the final beat. It's a bit like with Hurricane. I know people love the original beat. That was never going to be the final version. He was always going to change that. It sounds too. I'm on my like keyboard making a beat.
TurboGrafx.
Yeah, you know my Casio keyboard with the like it bangs, but it was never going to be the final beat.
Yeah, I mean, bringing the Weeknd in was a massive dub.
I like that Ant Clements guy. I think he raises Jesus is King way better than that album has any right to be. But there's no context. I don't get the people.
Not with the Weeknd.
The original's better.
But
no, it ain't.
I do like the beat of the original. I
like
won't lie.
the beat of the original, but I don't think it would have fit because he's going for this like gospel-y version on the final. Like, I don't think that beat would have fit with I can walk on water.
No. But when
the beat drops out and you hear the quiet, like I don't think that original beat would have fit with that.
Yeah, but when you hear the Yandhi snippet, sorry, it does fit. It fits with that type of sound the Yandhi snippets were going for, which is a shame. Like there's a few tracks from all them the leaks that were great, like the one with Cuddy, and is it Alien that Cuddy's on?
Yeah, is that the one?
The
that
leaked one?
Well?
Yeah.
Because Thug was on Hurricane as well, weren't he? There's so many people that have been on. I've heard a version of Hurricane with Thug on it.
Oh really?
Yeah. There's so many versions of Hurricane. I think he struck gold with the fun. Like, I do still question if Baby's verse fits. And I don't.
Yeah,
I think Kanye had a better original verse.
Same.
I think the Wave Runner verse is a lot better than the.
I agree.
I don't really love that verse, but the Weeknd's hook with the choir, the choir really cements it. Like, that is so good. You don't really need the rest of it.
Yeah, I mean,
like the rest of the song could be fine, which is what it is to me. Like, it's good, but it's not like holy shit.
Yeah, it's like Baby for me does feel a bit out of place.
Yeah, on that
song,
he fits the album, but just not.
Just
Hurricane.
On the song, it's I don't know. Like I don't know what it is. If it's the mastering or something, it just he feels
as I said,
muted compared to the rest of the song.
I also think the censoring hurts him a little bit. Like not too much, but where he has to be like, it just breaks the flow. Whereas Baby's, the thing that appeals is he just flows.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
So when you drop him out, it like ruins his flow.
Yeah,
you're like,
when you're chopping it up.
Stopped.
Yeah, literally though. Yeah.
Which I think is the main thing that verse suffers with for him.
Yeah, definitely.
The thing though, kind of related to Kanye, not entirely related to Kanye. This might age incredibly bad. This might age before I even get them.
Hot take.
But I want to ask, Wireless this year.
Right.
Who's the headliner? Why are they hiding them?
That's a good question.
I think
they keep teasing.
They're hiding the headliner. Right?
They keep teasing it though.
We're in February. We're almost halfway through. February's a short month. We're almost halfway through, and they haven't said the date, the location, or the headliners. We're getting a big headliner, right?
I hope so. But
I don't know
who
why
will
else
it
they
be?
would hype it like this. I mean, the obvious one is Drake, right?
I feel like he is due to be a headliner on paper.
Yeah, because
the past few years he's shown up and performed.
I think the last time he headlined was when
fucking Skepta,
if you're reading this, it's too late.
Yeah, is that the one where Skepta comes out or not? Is that Wireless? Fucking.
I don't know. I thought the last time he headlined was if you're reading it's too late. He brings Party Out for Preach that time. I don't think he's done it since then because that's the one where everyone stormed it, right?
But this is the thing.
I don't think he did it for views or anything like that.
No, because he's been there for the past 3 years, but he hasn't actually been a headliner on paper.
He pops up.
Which I feel
think
like
the last time Drake was the headliner was when he did If You're Reading This. I could be wrong.
Probably right, yeah. But it's disappointing. Fact check. Let's do it.
But while I'm doing this, tell me what you think the headliner should be, who you think it will be.
I'm not sure, it's a.
Are they hiding it or are they just super unorganized?
No. I definitely think they have someone lined up, because the way they're moving on Twitter is like they have the fucking greatest lineup
because they
in history.
The people keep being like, it's not even going to be worth it, and they're like, oh yeah.
Yeah, come on, like you don't do that if unless you're confident in your lineup.
Because otherwise you just wouldn't say anything, innit?
But I am curious. Yeah, I am curious.
Let's see headliners.
But you also have to think of who's dropped an album recently.
Okay, let's go. So obviously last year was Future with Drake. 2020 got cancelled. It was ASAP Rocky, Skepta, and Meek Mill.
What was 2019? No, the one we went to.
2019 we went to. It was Cardi B and Migos, Travis Scott, and ASAP Rocky cancelled. So it was Ray Shremmerd.
Oh yeah, of course. It was, yeah.
Travis and Future back to back.
And Uzi, innit?
Uzi cancelled.
Oh, he cancelled as well. Fucking hell.
Skepta came out instead.
So,
because we were
Good
eating.
sub.
I remember
Good-
we were
good
eating,
sub.
and Skepta was playing the bangers.
Mm.
The year before was J. Cole, Stormzy, and DJ Khaled cancelled, and it
Didn't
was
we
Drake.
go to the one with Cole though? We had
Yeah,
Cole
we went
and
to
Post.
Cole, and we went to the next day with Stormzy.
And Post, no?
Yeah, Post was before Cole.
Right.
It was Party, Post, J. Cole.
What a lineup.
And then the next day was... Oh, J Hus cancelled? We've seen J Hus there, though. Did he do the next year?
J Hus did the one we went to last.
J Hus, yeah.
The last
yeah,
Wireless.
he did the Sunday.
And
He was on before Ray Shremmerd. Let's see. When did Drake last do it? Chance, Skepta, Weekend. We didn't go that year. Calvin Harris, J. Cole. They didn't do that year. Lethal Bizzle. Yeah, I don't think Drake is done. Drake did it in... What year is this? 2015.
Fucking hell.
So yeah, I think that is...
Last time he did it.
Yeah, that's if you're in this, it's too late because 2016 is Views. That's what I'm saying. That's last year he was the headliner.
Drake, he needs to have headline Wireless and be like an official one, not be like a buy your ticket then wait and see. Like you need to do it. Drake, like it's clear he fucking breads UK and that. So just make him a headliner.
Exists.
Yeah,
More
make him a
Life
headline.
I always see people be like on Twitter, More Life's underrated. I'm like, you don't live in the UK.
The
More
UK
Life is not
love it, man.
underrated.
We love More Life. More Life is the fucking Drake tape. It's the only one you need.
Literally, people I talk to, they'll be like, I don't like modern Drake, but they'll be like, More Life though. More Life was a banger.
More Life was it. More Life was it. It's so underrated.
And it like had gigs, had
Yeah,
Dave wasn't
Skepta
on the
interlude.
tape, but he did that remix with Dave around
Yeah,
that time. Dave, like, talks
you
on
had
it.
Georgia before she was like as big as she was. Obviously, Skepta had his own interlude.
It's just very
2 gig songs, one of which is fucking everywhere in the UK. You can't go to a club without hearing KMT.
literally.
Like, it's massive.
I was gonna say, and just like people love it. You know what I mean? People are like, oh,
It's like that God's plan type thing where it's just you got the one liner. Yeah.
People don't care about any other lyric
Then
in there.
yeah,
But the Batman lyric, they're like, yes.
it hits. But yeah, I don't know who it would be, to be honest with you. I think obviously Wireless always seems to give one day to a UK act.
Of course. I
that
wonder
one-
if it'll be Dave.
Yeah, I mean Dave is like a safe bet.
Dave.
I wouldn't be mad at Dave if he was a headliner.
Dave, obviously, Skepta did it last year. I don't think we'll get Skepta.
Yeah,
Because the thing is,
that's 2 years, isn't it?
with UK acts, there's only so many that are that big. We have a lot of acts that people love. I don't know if we have that many acts that people like headline a festival.
Well, you got like
in
Huss,
that genre.
Huss, Dave, Skepta, Stormzy. I mean, they're
What happened with that Huss thing, by the way? He was dropping like a mixtape or an album?
Yeah, one of the producers leaked that he was dropping an album, but I think it was like brushed to the side. Yeah, I think it was.
That ain't P.
P.
That ain't P. What? I was hyped.
Yeah, Huss is due an album.
Is a fucking banger.
And that was 2020.
I was going to say
that was a while ago. Before lockdown, isn't it? It came out.
Yeah, because
just before.
We heard it in the club.
Yeah.
So it must have been pre-lockdown.
You know what? Yeah.
I think it might be Dave. I could see Dave doing it.
Well, that's the thing. He's dropped an album the most recently, hasn't he?
And as I said, if Skepta hadn't done it last year, maybe.
Did he do Wireless? Because he did Part
he did
Life.
Wireless, then he did Park
And he
Life.
did Park Life.
Back nights. Because for those that don't know, we went to Park Life last year.
Big flex. It was a vibe.
Many boys.
Manchester.
And we missed Drake for the second year.
The hotel was vibes though.
No windows. I love hotels with no windows. Please sponsor us. But
Havana Club.
Havana Club, sponsor us
So we can get windows in our hotel rooms.
Yes, please. I want to afford the 5-star. But yeah, I can't see it being Skepta again.
Alright.
Stormzy, I don't think he's done anything recently enough. I don't think he would want to do it.
You know what? Like, he's probably the one I would put last that I would want to see as a headliner. Don't get me wrong. Like Stormzy, he's massive for the culture and that. But like in terms of
I'm
quality
just
of
not a
music, yeah, in terms of quality of the music.
Like,
I don't think
respect he exists. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a hater who's like, fuck Stormzy.
He's fucking his run between like 2016 onwards. Like it's good, but like
Big for Your Boots is a banger.
It's just in terms of the quality of music. There's
I don't think
3 or 4 artists I'll see above him.
Skepta or Dave.
No way.
The other
no
people
way.
at that level.
Skepta's like it's like him, Gigs, JME, Gets. They're like the Godfathers. Kano.
Well, I don't really care about award shows, but did you see anything about the Brits this year?
I saw it in the Fire.
Oh, you watched it? I haven't seen it. I saw Dave won, and I was like, good for him.
I didn't watch it. I just saw his performance of in the Fire. Like Fredo came out on that.
Right, I saw Little Sims one as well. Good for her.
Oh,
London. I think she's from Islington.
No way. Arsenal probably. Ops. Tottenham.
I don't actually know, but yeah, I saw. I think she shouted out North London as well. I think she was like, "I come from a housing estate in North London." I was like,
I rate that.
But she's super talented and gets super underrated. I think because she reminds me of Dave, where she's just a very versatile artist.
Who's that, Little Sims?
Yeah. She makes a lot of different sounds.
Because she was at Park Life, weren't she?
Yeah.
She was great there.
I was gonna say, I really fuck with Lil Sims. I think people underrate her because she's not. She's not one of them artists where people are like, man, she's so hot.
Right.
No, and she just does the bangers and goes.
Yeah.
Which I respect. Like, you do you. Whatever makes you happy.
But the thing with UK music, I feel like with UK music, there's such an untapped potential. Like, we have so many talented artists, whereas like because of the culture and the way they rap, they don't get the respect they deserve. For example, like Slow Tie,
Right.
Like, I know like he's got a controversy in that, but when you listen to his music.
Oh yeah, because he was like drunk on the
and he started moving mad.
He's moving mad.
Yeah, but like
I'll give him this. I don't know Slow Tie. I only knew him from that, and I'd heard like one other song that Aaron played when I was drunk, and I went, "This is whack." But I was drunk, so I don't count that. But his performance at Park Life last year was great.
It was good. Yeah,
I had a great time. Aaron almost died. Some stranger saved his life. Shout out to that.
Come on, mosh pit gang.
I was gonna say, I just remember seeing you slip and that guy caught you.
Oh yeah, and my Yeezys got mashed up. 350s, rest in peace.
You said they got washed and they were fine.
They're alright now, yeah. To be fair, I have not worn them since though. Have not worn them since. But like,
you think I'd wear my 350s to a festival?
No, it's because I'm stacking Yeezys, isn't it?
My bread's gonna cry.
But I'm like, we have so many like talented artists, like Slow Tie. When you actually listen to his music, the quality of music he's putting out, it's great. But because of his voice, I don't know what it is. It's like the way UK rap is. It's just the tone and that. It's quite like a grunge, punk-ish. Like,
well, and drill is so big here.
And that's when you don't do drill, you're not as trendy.
But also, like, I feel like most drill artists aren't that big overseas, which is weird because drill is so big overseas.
Like Pop Smoke. Like Pop Smoke, he fucking blew up because he was rapping over drill beats. Like,
but like he went you know what I mean?
He's not. Yeah, I know. But
what British drill artist? Which is weird because that sound is so big. I find it weird that, like, even anyone isn't a drill artist, but you know what?
He was though. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. He's like drill adjacent.
Yeah,
where he has drill songs, but he has other songs. And recently he's been going for that more pop vibe. I find it weird. Not pop, but like pop rap. You know what I mean? He's got features with like
more mainstream. More mainstream. Yeah. More mainstream.
Yeah, like that's the word. Like mainstream. I find it weird that he don't get the clout I see on Twitter where people are like, man, look at this drill artist from like Australia.
But then I guess like obviously Drake did the freestyle with Heady.
Yeah.
Like Heady, he did kind of bring about like he kind of brought drill into the spotlight. Like, let's not lie.
Definitely.
Like Golden Boot and that. Like he brought it about. Let's
yeah. We've not seen Heady One live, have we?
No.
Wireless. 2020.
Heady One, yeah.
Heady One should be there.
Yeah, why not? I'll take Heady One. I'll see Heady One live. But yeah, it's just I feel like UK. When you look at the UK rap hip hop scene like 10 years ago, who was like doing bits for us? Like Professor Green. Like what? No, like now there's so much talent there. Like
this is the thing, and especially when you consider like a lot of it's from just London, and London is such a small place comparatively.
But then even when you look at Manny, like you got like Bugsy, like H, fucking.
Is he from Manchester?
He's up north. I don't know if he's Manny. I think he's Manny. Yeah, no, he is Manny, innit?
I didn't know that.
But like he's blowing up. Even like what's that other guy, Ardy? Like.
Oh yeah.
Like, no hate to them, but
I just feel like it's a marketing thing with a lot of them where they haven't been pushed in the right way yet.
I just think UK, I don't know what it is. It's just America is like hip hop is such a big thing over there. Like there's so many states, like New York alone, just the hip hop influence is massive. Whereas like here we're not there yet.
Yeah, definitely.
It's like I said, if you listen to like, for example, BBC One Extra, listen to that 10 years ago. Tell me who was playing. Now you go BBC One Extra, you got RDH, all of like Dave, Stormzy, Skep. It's just we have so many talented artists that are coming through.
Yeah, I as I said, I for me, I think it's a big marketing thing, which I think is why Wireless is such a good festival, because it gives you the overseas artists, but they also always have that one headliner.
They give you the trending UK.
Which I feel like when you're younger, you're like, why is that one headliner British? But as I've gotten older, I appreciate it. I'm like, yeah, man.
Yeah, no, like
big up Skepta or Stormzy, whoever it is you slap up there. I think it's good for them and good for us. Like,
no, man, like
because people overseas might buy a 3-day ticket. Like, yeah, let's get lit at this festival. Yeah. It's got J. Cole and whoever, and then they'll end up hearing a Stormzy or a Dave or whoever it is. And
UK is so underrated. Like, there's so much talent.
I don't get how Dave isn't one of the biggest artists in the world.
But he's not
so
in the world,
talented.
but like he is in terms of UK, he's already one of the biggest.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, just why is it always that caveat where it's like, oh yeah, in the UK?
I know, but that's what I mean. It's weird, isn't it? Like,
because it's not like he does the one sound. Because I often hear that as a critique of British artists, where it's like they sound the same. Dave has like Afrobeat songs.
Yeah,
he has rap
he
songs
knows how to make it hit.
Rapping. He has the more like pop rap songs.
Yeah, he knows how to make it hit.
Yeah, and I'm not saying he's like vocally the maddest, but he's not a mad singer or anything. But I do find it a shame that his label or whoever aren't pushing him like I think he should be overseas. Not here. I agree with you. Over here, Dave is one of the biggest artists you can get, and rightfully so. But it's weird that, like, number one, I think it was a missed opportunity. They didn't put that Wanna Know remix on
More Life.
I think he should have been on there because he is he has that like interlude where he speaks. Yeah. But Wanna Know remix should have been on there. I get it's probably complicated because like it's Dave's song or whatever. But
the thing is, like Drake, again going back to More Life, like I don't know, like people don't realize how big More Life was for UK music. 100%. And like I don't mean that in minimalistic sense. Before More Life, like as I said, listen to UK radio music, it wasn't hitting like that with UK rap, drill, whatever. After More Life, everything changed. Like I'm not even in exaggeration. After 2015, like 2016 onwards, everything is different. UK rap, hip hop, drill, it's now the mainstream. It is mainstream.
Well,
it's mainstream.
I even think it's interesting one dance takes from a British song. The original Funky House, isn't it? I feel like Drake has been one of the few artists to look at Britain and go, oh, but they're onto something. Drake's
been on it for time. Like, it's like, you know that video where he's like, man, never been a marquee when it's shut down. Trust me, daddy. And then it's Skepta, innit? It's shut down.
Or, is it Balotelli? Who's he bred in? Where he's in the fucking Man United shirt? Who's he bred? He's in a Man United shirt. He's like, yeah, man, I'm out here for my boy. And he's
fucking, is it Pogba?
Mike Pogba.
Yeah.
So I'm out here with my boy. Both in Man United shirts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I as I said, I feel like he's one of the few artists to look
Like no, he put UK on
I
to
mean,
mainstream, like worldwide.
And I mean, even outside of music, like Top Boy.
Top Boy, he brought back.
I get people being like, he's a culture. I don't.
No, but not for UK. Like I understand the argument, but not for UK.
I'm thinking
he's shown so much love to us
why would
and
you
our culture.
invest in Top Boy?
No, like
things. A show that got cancelled.
And he's consistently like come over. He's done a Fire in the Booth. He's done a fucking what's the other freestyle we did?
How was that? Annabelle's getting sassy.
Nah, that's the Fire in the Booth, isn't it? What's the other one? He's like, I don't really play no tic-tac-toes. We like R's and V's and O's. Behind bars. Linked up TV, innit?
Yeah.
He's done that. He's done Wireless.
I mean, he did like executive produce, whatever that means, the whole soundtrack for Top Boy, I swear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I will complain right now. Top Boy, why is season 1 not on Netflix?
Yeah, that's a good point.
They have season 2 and season 3.
They got Summer House and
because for ages I didn't watch Summer House because I thought it was a spin-off.
No,
I didn't realize that was the original run and they'd renamed it.
Yeah.
So for ages I didn't watch it, and then season 1 went, and I was like, oh. So now I'm like, what do? Do I watch season 2 of Summer House and then the reboot, or I'm like, do I just watch?
It's a continuation.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm like, because. Are you a Top Boy fan? I can't remember. Have you seen?
I was.
When the
original. No, I haven't seen the new one. When the original Top Boy came out, I was. Yeah.
Because
I haven't seen the new one. I haven't seen the Netflix.
It was on my list. I was gonna watch it after. Was that after I finished Sopranos or Ozark originally?
Right.
Before the new season came out, I was like, oh, I'll do Top Boy next, and then I went and I was like, oh, it's not here.
Where did I start?
So I ended up starting Snowfall instead.
It is weird that they don't have all of it on Netflix.
Yeah,
it's
because
weird.
they like bought it off Channel 4. So, like the original Channel 4 one is on there, but not. I don't know. It's just weird. It's dumb. It's very dumb.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think they did the same thing with Black Mirror.
Oh really?
Where like, because Netflix bought Black Mirror off Channel 4. You can watch Netflix's Black Mirror, but the Channel 4 Black Mirror is like not all on there, I think.
Really?
Or
I thought they had
season. It might all be on there now.
Yeah, I thought they had season 1.
Maybe, I'm not sure. I haven't looked because I haven't seen any of Black Mirror, so I don't know. But I think it's the same deal there, where at any point Channel 4 could be like no. And then the original run would be gone, and it would just be the Netflix stuff, which is dumb. I fucking hate all of this shit.
Yeah.
Streaming rights, it's bullshit. I said I just want to watch Top Boy and see what the hype is about.
It is quite good, to be fair.
I mean, if it's good enough that it got brought back and the hype everyone had.
Yeah.
Because I remember when we went to see Drake, he played the trailer in it, and everyone was like,
yeah.
Oh my God,
and obviously now fucking Dave is in it. Well, he was in it. I don't know if he dies in the new season or whatever. I ain't seen
him in any of the posters, so I assume he gets slumped. I don't know. I saw Little Sims is back once again because she's fucking talented and deserves her flowers. I also saw like with the Brits, like I think Adele now is winning for like most awards of like someone like insane.
Fair enough.
Good for them. I said I don't really give a shit about awards, but like if the people I like get awards, I'm like, good for you.
Yeah.
That's what I'm like. I don't get upset if they don't get awards. Although my boy not getting nominated at the Oscars for Best Director for Dune is bullshit. They got like nominated for every technical award except
Best
directing.
Director.
Even Best Picture. I'm like, how? You're like, yeah, everything about this movie is perfect, but I'm not going to give the director an award.
Yeah, we can't do that.
Have you've not seen Dune yet?
I have not seen Dune. No, not yet.
Aaron is going to watch Dune, and we're going to talk about it on one of these podcasts.
It'll be there. Soon enough. Okay. What is your opinion on artists that have been cancelled still listening to their music?
First of all, cancelling isn't a real thing.
It isn't, or it is?
It isn't.
Right.
Or it was a real thing, but artists have turned it into like, if I get criticised for anything, I'm being cancelled. You know what I mean? Like,
yes, I agree.
You'll say, hey, that wasn't cool, and they'll be like, you're cancelling me.
You're trying to cancel me.
And it's like, no, but I'm just criticising. That ain't the same thing.
Okay.
Whereas like You then compare that to artists that have been accused of, like, I don't know, fucking rape or something insane. And
Yeah.
you're like, no, I'm not cancelling you. I think you're a criminal, and
Yeah,
like,
that's the thing.
That's not the same thing.
For example, the one that springs to mind immediately is Chris Brown. So obviously at the time, his
do
career.
You think he's gonna do wireless?
I would like him to.
But do you think he is?
Good question. I mean, he hasn't dropped an album in a while. I wouldn't be.
No, but he hasn't been in the UK in a while. I mean,
true.
I'll tell you who I think would be a perfect headliner. Wizkid.
Oh yeah, straight up, yeah.
Because like he did like what 6 dates at the O2 in the end.
Yeah, I think that's a good shout though. I think this summer he will do a lot. And
he's like a perfect blend of like. He's not a UK artist, but
no,
the UK
but he.
Love him.
How many songs is he on? From like featuring UK artists or being on UK artist tracks,
and just like the UK love Burna Boy as like a not Burna Boy, Wizkid. I mean, no,
but yeah, Burna Boy, Wizkid, Coffee.
Sound we love.
It's embraced over here, yeah.
100%.
It's the diversity of the UK.
It's what made me laugh when he did his tour in New York, or the US in general. But a lot of people point to like him doing New York and that, and they were like. He didn't really bring anyone out, but when he did the O2, he brought out like 8 artists, and it's like because
UK show love, man.
Like we appreciate these artists in that genre on it's a like different level.
It's like when Drake did the Tyler Festival, Camp Flog. Everyone started fucking booing him when he came out. If that was here, like people would be gassed.
Never happen. That would. I mean, we've not been to the festivals where they've brought out Drake, but there would never be a festival where they bring out Drake
in the UK. No way.
He's popped out at Wireless. He's popped out at Reading. Like, he's popped out everywhere, and never once has it been like this guy. Because, like you said, more life that like it's so well received over here. We're just like hyped.
Everyone appreciates Drake over here. Like
100%.
No cap. Like the popular opinion is, I don't like Drake. Nah, Drake's too mainstream for me. But over like in the UK, come on, like
literally, it's not real.
Yeah,
like okay, you get the cool people that sit in the club like
I'm
not even gonna do the two.
But there's too much association with UK artists with Drake.
Yeah,
it's like when he came out at Skepta Section Boys concert. It's like. Just everything.
Like literally, there's like one UK artist you can say doesn't fuck with Drake,
which is
beefed Stormzy. Help me.
Stormzy.
He beefed Stormzy. Who does Stormzy beef?
What Chip?
Chip. That's the only artist I can point to and go, he don't fuck with Drake. Genuinely, I can't name you another person.
Oh, Wiley.
Oh, there you go, Chip and Wiley. That's it.
Wiley don't like Drake.
That's the two.
That's only because he didn't get clout from Drake.
Wiley, I'm gonna question because he still rates Tory Lanez.
No. Listen, I love Wiley, but the guy clearly is bugging out a little bit. Like I don't know what's going on with Wiley.
Yeah.
Like
I hope he's
like you said.
Mentally.
He did a track with Tory, and I as you said is. Where Drake showed love to other UK artists like Skep, I feel like Wiley felt entitled,
and like
he was like, I should have been that.
They were all that generation because it's like Skepta, gigs,
and like people forget like Wiley, like he like put Skep on, like Wiley is genuinely like the OG.
That's what I'm
like Godfather.
Like, of the OGs he could have bred, he chose to leave out Wiley. Whether that's for a reason or it was accidental, like I don't want to get into that. I
don't know if it was for a reason, but either way, Wiley fell away.
Yeah, definitely.
So like, it's like, yeah,
yeah. I get what you mean. Like, it sort of led to that thing that happened, which is funny because like Drake never acknowledged it.
No, of course, and why would he? It's like mentioning Wiley's name.
Artist in the world. Like, no offense to Wiley, but like he ain't.
No, not worldwide. Like
of course, UK. Like Wiley's a big artist. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Wiley's a fucking nobody or something insane like that. But worldwide, he's just not on the same.
And the only person to benefit from Drake name dropping Wiley would be Wiley.
Right. It's like when Drake and Joe Budden beefed.
Yeah.
Like Joe Budden did like 4 diss tracks, and it's like Drake just never acknowledged him because
why would he?
Like,
why would you need to?
Literally, like it would only benefit the person you're name dropping.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. I mean, you see that argument all the time with like Pusha T or Meek Mill or whoever you want to look at the Drake's beef. It's always the same argument of like, if he hadn't acknowledged them, would it have led to anything?
Well, Push
they're big artists, but they're not.
Yeah.
They're not pop. My mum doesn't know who they are, except for the fact she knows who they are because they beefed Drake. You know what I mean?
No disrespect to Push, because I love Push, but
I was going to say, like, he's an amazing artist.
How much clout he got from the Drake beef was...
I mean, that's sort of how I heard of him. Like, I knew of him because he was on Kanye's albums.
And obviously clips, innit?
Yeah, but I didn't really know him as a solo artist like that until that whole thing happened. I went, oh, let me give him a listen. And then I went, oh yeah, he's fucking hard.
Well, it's like when Daytona dropped, obviously Infrared. Like everyone listened to that because it was a Drake diss.
I mean, I used to call that album Infrared because I didn't realize it was called Daytona. Because that song was so big, I was like, yeah, it's called Infrared, right? It's just like yeah. I do need to hear that Diet Coke song.
It's a banger. It is a banger. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I was gonna say, I mean, it's very rare I have Pusha T song and go, it was alright. It's fine.
Yeah.
He's one of them artists where he just hits that level.
Yeah. Well, I think he's very consistent. He never drops below that level.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But another topic I want to get onto is the Good Music tape that Ye dropped.
Right.
Cruel Summer. So when it dropped, again, I never listened to it all the way through. But like lately I've been bumping it a lot.
Really?
And I think it slaps.
I don't know if I've heard it all the way through.
So it's got Mercy.
Let me look at this.
You got Mercy on there. You got Don't Like. You got what's the Cuddy song? Creepers. There's one with Khalid.
Okay, what have we got? I can't leave first song. Moving on. Click. That's a banger.
Click is a banger.
Mercy. New God Flow.
New God Flow with Pusha.
Cold is a banger.
Cold. Creepers. What's the one with Khalid? Oh my bugging.
That's Cold.
That's cold, isn't it?
Yeah. Where is it? There. Yeah. Kanye West, DJ Khaled. That's a banger because that's the one where he talks about Kim, right? That's a banger. The like cover art is the chick in the like fur coat with the candle for the head. That's a banger. Yeah, I haven't heard it all the way through.
I'm gonna be real, like when you listen to it, there's not many songs that miss.
I can believe that. I mean, good music has a good lineup. I just feel like,
and when you think about the bangers, like Mercy is like top tier Ye track.
When we were looking, originally our plan was to do like a Kanye West March Madness, and Mercy was like the first one you pointed out,
and it was Mercy versus Famous.
That's hard. I would give it to Mercy. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah,
personally,
yeah,
I like Famous a lot, but Mercy is like, come on, like,
and
everyone is just going ham.
Everyone's verse. That's an ass crack.
What's the what? Christian Dior Denim Flow ain't on here, is
no,
it?
that's not on good. That's not on Cool Summer.
I was gonna say
but that is a banger.
I don't know why in my mind it's like this sound.
That was part of Good Fridays.
That's a fucking banger.
When they like every Friday and the song would drop. But
yeah. Personally, I love it. But yeah, I haven't heard that album all the way through. I wish more labels did.
Like a label.
Yeah, I'd listen to an OVO tape. I'd listen to an XO tape. I'd listen to whoever you want to look at.
Dreamville.
I mean, they did do one, didn't they? They did.
Yeah,
that,
they did. Yeah, they did.
I can't remember what it's called.
Revenge of the Dreamers.
Revenge of the Dreamers 3, isn't it? The songs I've heard of there I like.
Yeah, fucking Kendrick's on it.
Yeah, Kendrick, top of the morning. Not top of the morning.
I woke up this morning.
I was going to say something in the morning.
Little bitch.
Black's on there, isn't he? I mean, he did it. Spillage Village. That's like him, JID, and a couple other people. That's a really good tape. When these artists do these sort of collab things, I do enjoy it.
It's where like, I don't know. It's just Cruel Summer and What's the Throne. It's like they're like Ye tapes that aren't really Ye tapes. So I never really.
It's funny because most of those singles you pointed to, I consider Ye songs. I don't consider them.
And that's the thing. But when you listen to Cruel Summer, like I'm telling you, if you listen to it from start to finish, you'd be like, there's not really any songs that aren't bangers.
Yeah.
So then you're like, where do I rank
listed like
Mercy is top tier. Everyone knows like
Mercy.
Lamborghini Mercy. She's so.
What was that other one? I
don't like.
That's the shit I don't like. New God Flow.
Creepers.
Clique.
Yeah, click.
That's a fucking banger. Yeah, no, it's these ones I don't really know that well. I need to listen. Creepers is a banger. I don't know why I don't have that saved, but a lot of them, yeah. It's that I do need to listen to it. Maybe for the next tape, I'll have listened to it.
Next podcast.
Can check
that discussion about good summer.
Prolonged. I can be like, listen, Cruel Summer, banger. It's gonna be a cruel
Top
summer
tier.
for you. That was a hard bar.
You underestimated greatly.
Yeah, as I said, I do wish more artists or labels did the sort of album together.
Well, I feel like OVO should. EXO.
I'd listen to it.
It's a bit disjointed.
Definitely.
Right now. Dreamville, they already did it. Slapped.
I don't know who else has
Top
labels.
Dog.
Oh yeah. They did a tour. They should have done an album.
Yeah. When is SZA gonna drop an album?
Never.
When?
She's a liar. I love her, but she's a liar.
She needs to, man.
Here's what she's like. She's like, yeah, here's like 5 singles, but no album.
Yeah, and if you're wondering if I hate you,
I do. The funny thing is that only was a single because TikTok loved it.
But what's the other song?
Quicksand.
No, how does that go?
I don't know how it goes, but that's big.
Because I know there's the one where it's like, my t-shirt.
But I think it's just called T-shirt. That's.
But I ain't dropped, has it?
No, she teased it at the end of the
the music video for
I Hate You. Is it Good Days? Was that the last single?
Yeah. At the end, she and the music video.
Yeah. My T-shirt. Yeah, she has another one as well. Quick, let me find it. Mia put it in a SZA lineup, and I was like, this is a banger. Like, but once again, it's a fucking TikTok song.
He works with DJs, by the way. Big player. This guy right here.
Tune in. Yeah, that little
SZA.
Because I don't want to get sued.
If you're into white guys, shout me,
please. But I'm begging you.
What a spice.
I have Havana Club.
That's it. Flex it.
Please. We're sponsored by Havana Club. We're not, but we will be. If you want to appear for an interview, we'll interview anyone.
Havana
I'll buy
Club.
a microphone just for you.
Sponsored with Skepta.
Skepta knows us. We've
But yeah,
seen him in the flesh.
Back to the topic of cancelled artists. So for example, no, seriously, I want to get onto this because it's like Tory Lanez. Tory Lanez still has a massive fan base. After the Meg controversy, I know
it's funny because I feel like he didn't have that fan base until that happened. I feel like
he was big though.
He was, but he didn't have the stands.
I don't know, man, because you got to think before the Meg thing, Tory was arguably at his biggest. He had the quarantine radio.
What a time! KKVS.
Quarantine. Put a demon on.
Demon time.
But like, no. To be fair, I think I would argue his fan base was biggest before and during.
I get what you mean.
Do you know what I mean? Like, Tory was massive before that.
The thing is, I'm waiting to see what happens.
I mean, from what I've heard, it's quite dead on that he did it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, first of all, believe women.
Of course, yeah.
You know, I don't see why an artist as big as she is would ever lie about such a thing.
But you know what it is?
I do still, you know, you've got a, I don't know, not guilty until proven innocent, but that sort of thing. Like I want to see how it all plays out, and I see the people that are like, why hasn't it been found out yet? Court dates take forever.
They take forever, and
especially. I mean, that what's his name? Justice Smollett. That only just happened like 4 months ago that they went to court over that, and that happened in like 2019. That happened pre-COVID.
It's just it's hard. This is what I'm trying to say though. This is my argument.
People don't have patience.
Is it okay if you are a fan of an artist and you still listen to their music after an event like this, how do you feel about that? Do you think they should still have a following?
It's so complicated.
Because, as I said, like, bringing it back to earlier, like the Chris Brown thing.
Because it's that whole art and the artist thing, isn't it?
That's the thing, and that's the argument a lot of people use. And the thing is, we're normal people. We're never going to be able to say, oh yeah, I was there, so I know what happened.
I was going to say,
blah,
like,
blah, blah.
I don't live in the US.
Do you know what I mean? So it's like, how do you feel about it? Because to an extent, I get the argument where it's like, you know what, like, I like their music.
I get that argument, but I also get the argument of like, do you need to be so public about your support? Like, if you like I was a big Tory Lanez fan. I don't really want to get into my feelings on him now, but if you were, knowing he's in the middle of this controversy, why is it you need to be so militantly like he's amazing?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, I think,
you know what, like. Just take a step back. If you love his music, cool.
Yeah.
You don't
absolutely.
need to throw it up on.
But
social media.
that's the defensive part of it. Where it's like, you know what, I like him. He can't be wrong.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
Because I won't front, like his last tape, the 80s tape. Like I've been listening to it.
Yeah, you played a bit of it in your car. I mean, I really liked him up to. The last tape I heard from him was the Chicks tape one. Then obviously
all this happened.
And I'll be honest, I haven't heard a whole project from him since.
Yeah.
I don't judge people that have. I'm not that like. I don't think that makes you a bad person or anything. I just personally, I find it difficult.
Yeah.
I mean, even I'm always like. On the side of wait and see, like even with the Travis thing.
Yeah,
I'm like he's an artist I loved. I'm just personally like if he comes on my shuffle, I'm not going to skip him. But I'm not like let me play him and let me shout like he's innocent from the rooftop.
But then with the Travis thing, is because the Travis thing to me it's not like the Tory case. It's not a case
people
of
did fucking die.
It's not a case of is he innocent or guilty, because at the end of the day, whatever happened is there for you to interpret.
Yeah.
So it's a case of how do you feel about it, because it's tough, isn't it? Because with the Tory thing is speculation of what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, of course, and as I said, we are all waiting to see
what happens.
As I said, I do firmly believe in like 9 times out of 10 you should always believe women and that.
Well, it's the thing, of course, and
as I said, I never get the viewpoint of why would someone as big as Meg,
why would she lie?
Yeah, why would she lie? And like she was shot,
and that's, you can't even argue against that.
Like
she was 100% shot
and everything. Like whenever people are like, oh, I didn't, and I mean, the thing that put me off Tory wasn't, I mean, it was that, but it wasn't necessarily just that. It was also it made me feel disgusted in a way to see that the next project he dropped like capitalized off that. Like, why was the promotion for that? I get the argument of like, you're a musician, state your opinion in music, but why is the promotion for your project like, I didn't shoot this one? Like, that's just nasty. I think it feels gross in a way.
80% of the issue is how someone reacts to a situation. And like you said, he didn't react to it in the best way. He was on Twitter trying to shout his innocence. Like I said,
and then it was like making music, trying to put her down and put yourself up is just nasty. Yeah. Like even if you are in this, even if it didn't happen, I wouldn't jump on SoundCloud or whatever and make an album. Like, it's just nasty. Like, you know, so many women are abused these days and ignored.
That's, I mean, it's a sensitive topic. Yeah. So why not leave it to the authorities to deal with?
Like especially if you're innocent, because you'll be exonerated.
You'll be like, all right, you know what? Let me leave it to the side. Whatever happens, happens. Let me make my music.
Absolutely.
But when someone comes out guns blazing, like, oh, I didn't do it.
Because she's alive. I think that 80s tape got so much love because it is disconnected. He's not on there rapping about or singing about.
Exactly.
I didn't shoot a woman. Like,
this is just
whereas that first tape he did, people are like,
what's that, Playboy?
The one before there, wasn't it? Hasn't he done 3 tapes?
I'm not sure the name. I'm not a Tory
I
stan.
was gonna say I was until then, but yeah, like I just think it's kind of nasty to me. Like,
Yeah.
I said, even if you are innocent, yeah. We did bear that Daystar and that Loner. I think it was Daystar. Yep, money over Fallouts. This one, Daystar. But this is what I'm saying. Nobody really hypes it up, whereas it's Playboy and Alone at Prom. I see people talk about which are disconnected.
Yeah.
So as I said, I personally, I think when it comes to being cancelled, as I said, I don't really believe in that term because it's so nebulous.
Well, it is broad, isn't it?
It can vary from people be like, Giveon cheated on his girlfriend, he's cancelled.
Yeah.
To this, R. Kelly had a sex ring and he's cancelled. What does it mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't mean
absolutely.
And I think that's deliberate on the powers that be part. Is they want you to look at cancelled as a silly thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they want you to look at it and be like, no, I don't.
It doesn't matter.
Cancelled.
But
Cancelled culture. It don't mean anything.
To an extent, but the idea I'm trying to get at is, like, should you have to shelve an artist's music after? And how do you feel about
really,
someone who doesn't shelve their music?
It really, if you're coming up to me and saying you still love R. Kelly, I look at you away.
And that's the thing. And like you said, cancelling is like, now more than ever, it's like a broad term.
That's what I'm saying.
Because fucking R. Kelly shouldn't be cancelled. He should be prosecuted. He should be in prison.
It's so weird to me that that's considered the same thing. Because I'm like, no, cancelled to me is just like, I don't fuck.
Or
with
you made a bad take, and it's like, no, you're cancelled.
Yeah,
like,
you said something racist or colorist or homophobic or whatever you want to look at. Like that to me is cancelled. If you're a criminal, then the law should deal with you. Like, R. Kelly isn't cancelled.
No. He should be he's a criminal. Like, he's a criminal.
Yeah, 100%.
It's straight up.
So,
same with if Tory is convicted of this.
If he shot a woman, like, fuck that guy.
That's it. You're a criminal. Like, but for example, someone like this is where it gets tricky.
Like, even what you said about Slow Tie. Like, yeah, he was moving like a dickhead at a fucking award show.
He's the perfect example. Then, okay.
Like,
how do you feel about that?
Like, yeah, he was number one. I don't really remember what happened.
He
part of it.
He was so waved.
And she looked uncomfortable.
He was so waved. He like went up and was like, he was basically saying, "You want to fuck me?" Blah 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 blah. And it was quite mad. So,
I'm not gonna lie, but I'm not saying that should mean I never rate him again. Like, we all, so long as he acknowledges, like, I did something wrong, and she accepts it. You know what I mean? If the lady that was wrong looks at it and goes like, yeah, I understand. Like, you've apologized. Like, yeah, you were a dickhead, but like, that's you. I'm glad you have the awareness to acknowledge it. That's one thing. Also, that song Cancelled with Skepta is a banger.
Now you're dripping blood.
That is a banger. But yeah, to me, that's almost a separate thing.
I think it is, and that's the issue with cancel culture. It's like, you can't cancel someone who is a criminal. He is a criminal. He shouldn't be in the topic. He should be gone.
As I said, R. Kelly isn't cancelled. He's
gone. Like, he's out of here, man.
Like, yeah,
and people were still trying to defend him after that. Like,
yeah,
what
exactly.
the fuck?
I mean, you had women showing up at shows saying "fucking abduct me." You know what I mean? Like,
nah, man,
like there's always going to be people that support these artists no matter what. Like, no matter what they do, they could murder someone.
Yeah.
But that's just how it is, and I really do feel like it's a personal thing. I said to me, I take issue when it's so public.
Right.
When you're so like, no, I really fuck with whoever. I don't want to name names because I don't want to attach it to a situation. But you know what I mean? When someone has done something terrible, and you're so out there, like,
when you're going out of your way to defend them, it's like, why?
Yeah, like what?
If you want to listen to their music, listen to it. Yeah, but why do you have to go out your way?
I don't think listening to like fucking Chicks Tape makes you a bad person.
But it's when you're trying to.
Yeah, and when you're trying to discredit the people going at them, that I do really take issue with it. Because as I said, I do feel it's just like, why?
Yeah,
you don't need
absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
If you put on your CD and it's someone that said something questionable, you know, I don't think that makes you a bad person. As I said, and it also is so case by case. This is part of what the powers that be have got away with by making cancel culture a thing. Is that, as I said, it can vary from like, hey, maybe I had a lyric that's a bit questionable,
or I had a bad take.
Yeah, you know, maybe I looked at a situation and didn't say the right thing, versus like I had a sex cult of 14-year-olds. Like, that ain't cancel culture. That's you're a pedophile.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, but it does vary. You know, what people find cancelable varies. Of course. There's some people that will never forgive Chris Brown, and there's some people that do. You know, it really varies, person to person. And I think that's like get stuck in on that,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I mean, to be fair, like Chris Brown is like the most popular case. Where,
yeah,
like,
of course.
To this day, people say, "Oh, you listen to Chris Brown?
100%.
Like he
and
did
like,
this and that." It's,
but part of that is like, the people only feel that way because they care about Rihanna, which is wrong. You know what I mean? Like, he's been accused of other women, and it's never their defense. Which is wrong. Like I'm not saying that makes it okay. I'm saying it's wrong that the women have to be a certain position.
They have
like with
Meg,
Meg,
of course.
With Tory, it only matters because it was such a big.
For example,
rapper.
if it came out he shot an ex-girlfriend in the foot, would it gain as much traction
100%.
as if it was Meg?
And that's right. Like I'm not saying like that makes it okay. I'm saying like
the balance isn't there,
and that's why it's such a case by case basis, because I feel like everyone draws their line at a separate point, which is wrong. You know, there's certain things we should look at and go, regardless of who you are, what you've done, we can't ignore this sort of thing. So that's how I feel about cancel culture. I'm glad you picked a nice non-controversial topic for our first.
We're gonna get cancelled now.
I was gonna say
our first episode cancelled. Yeah.
The title of this episode is gonna be cancelled.
No, it's a thing to me, because me personally, it's like there's a few artists who I have listened to in the past where I'm like, do I need to feel guilty about listening to them? Like Tory Lanez, for example, Slow Tie, for example, Octavian, for example, Chris Brown probably the biggest one, where it's like,
I feel Octavian as well in the UK is
heavily, like, I mean, he's like, I don't really listen to him now. He's pretty much bang on the money. Like, what he did is quite solid evidence. But
I mean, it's the same with even outside of music, like footballers. You know, people look at it and they draw their lines at different points, because they'll be like, no, but he's good on the field, isn't it? And it's like, but
it's like Ronaldo. Like, there's that controversy that he was he paid out. They settled it out of court with a woman that apparently he
100%. It is that side of things where you look at it and you're like, where do you draw the line? And as I said, it's so personal. I would never presume to assume where someone feels on it.
Of course, yeah. But it's just
to me, the real divider is the loudness at which you do it. It's like you're so vocal in support of whatever. Yeah, I find
it's a question of your character. But then it's like, for example, I think this is a good example. If the VMAs, when Kanye took the mic off Taylor, if he did that today, that would be like the most obvious case of someone being cancelled.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of. I mean, even in that Drink Champs interview, he talked about like, I'm above cancel culture because he's already been through it.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is, people didn't stop caring because he apologized. They stopped caring because he dropped a banging album.
That's a very good point.
You know,
no, genuinely, though, yeah. And that's what I mean. How do you distinguish between should I listen to this artist or not? Like,
that's what I'm saying. I don't know where the level is, but I do. As I said, to me, the main thing is like, why do you need to big up this artist?
I think it's part of the defensive.
Yeah, of course.
Nature. If you're like a stan of an artist, you feel like you need to defend them.
Yeah, 100%. No matter what they do, even if it's horribly wrong,
you just feel like you have to express your
Yeah, because as you said, it's stan culture. No, they can't do no wrong.
But on that point, let's move on from this because it is a sensitive topic.
I want to lose viewers.
And this podcast, and I don't have a definitive answer.
And we're two white guys talking about this.
Yeah. That's probably the two worst people you want discussing something.
We're very qualified.
Two privileged white boys. So we'll move on.
Okay.
We'll move on. So right. Next topic.
I assumed you had a topic.
Oh, no, I got one. Don't worry. I got one.
Sorry, the way you said it.
I got one.
Do you have?
I don't have a topic, so I just wanted to move on.
Sorry, I assumed you had one.
Let's keep it fun. Let's keep it fun. So,
yeah.
How do you feel about the modern day Call of Duty? We're gonna move it to gaming. We're gonna move it to gaming.
On a 3-hour podcast now. My personal opinion on Call of Duty is this. I think up until about 2012, they're masterpieces.
Right. So you draw the line at
for what they are.
What do you draw the line at? Black Ops 2.
Or
MW3.
They start being hit or miss at MW3 because I don't like MW3, but
a lot of people love it.
Black Ops 2 is a masterpiece,
and a lot of people like MW3.
I get the argument. I just don't. I don't enjoy it. Right. I think MW3 is just MW2, but not as good, personally.
Okay.
But Call of Duty ran into an identity crisis.
Quite, yeah. No,
I think that Advanced Warfare, they hit a problem where it's like, what are we? And I've seen videos about people I really respect. Like Racevic has a really good video. I don't know if you've seen any of his stuff. He has a good one about how Call of Duty lost its identity. And he says MW2 is the point where it loses its identity. And I get the argument.
But then what do you get after MW2?
But then to me, I'm like, MW2 is where it hits its stride. Because you get that, you get Black Ops. Okay, MW3 is white, but you get Black Ops 2.
You get Black Ops 2.
And to me, those are the three best CODs. Almost back to back to back to back.
Let's be real. Because MW3, I know to some fans they love it, sometimes you hate it. But if you're talking about that overall era, I think you have to include it as a good Call of Duty.
I would say it's fine. It's not a bad Call of Duty. It's to me, MW3 is the point where they stop innovating.
But I mean, like,
they're just like, we're fine to be fine.
When you then look at Ghosts after Black Ops 2, that's not as big a miss as MW3 was.
Yeah, that's the
thing. Ghosts is the point where you're like, oh, it's gone a bit downhill.
Yeah.
Then you get AW, then you get Black Ops 3, then you get Infinite Warfare.
And then you get Black Ops 4.
And then you get Black Ops 4, you get World War 2. Yeah. And let's be real, COD hasn't been the same since. Like,
I mean, the real thing that resurrected COD was Warzone. Well, no. I'm not going to be disingenuous. Was Modern Warfare. The Modern Warfare reboot brought the series back. And then they hit the problem of Warzone was way bigger than they expected. I think whilst they knew Warzone was going to be big, I don't think they knew like it was going to be enormous. I think that like Blackout was big. You know what I mean? Like people like Blackout, but it died off. I think they thought Warzone was going to be because I think they panicked. They were like, oh fuck, people like Warzone.
They got back into like the mainstream of gaming, and they were like, we have to like capitalize on this.
Yeah. And then you run into Cold War, Vanguard, whatever. Because they've announced a new Call of Duty in it. They haven't said anything about it. But they said
it's like the future.
How do you feel about the GTA announcement as well? Slightly.
It's... Yeah, I didn't really know how to feel about it because they said it's well underway, which I don't know if I believe.
I think we'll get a trailer this year. But that's it.
I hope so.
I don't think we're getting anything outside of an announcement.
But to me, it felt like a not so much a damage control, but it was like, we know you want GTA 6, so here is our announcement. But it's like when Elder Scrolls was announced, they did like a mini video. Yeah. Like, I know it was just an overview, but
I get the argument of like, but where is that? What is the point of announcing something if we've not heard anything? Because that was like what, 4 years ago? That was a while
Time ago,
ago.
yeah. But then why tweet
fact check
it?
that.
Why tweet it
Yeah.
out and be like, oh, well, GTA 6 is underway, and they said well underway. Like,
Yeah,
let's be real. People will dig into every word you say. So them saying well underway.
they could have said we've just
We've
begun
started.
work.
They could have just said we've started, but they said it's well underway. So that tells me they at least have like a base engine,
Yeah,
a base.
I mean, a couple of years ago there was that leak about GTA 6 that sounded. I don't believe it, but if it's real, sounds exciting because they were like, every Rockstar game tries to push,
the boundaries
something.
in that.
and they were like, this one is going to be, it crosses time periods. You know, GTA 5 crossed characters. Red Dead 2 crossed states.
Yeah.
This is going to be all of that put together, but decades.
I mean,
So your characters are in different decades and they affect each other. Like the choices you make affect. And I was like, that sounds cool. Like they were like, it's really inspired by like Narcos, where it's like it's set in Vice City.
Yeah.
And it's like the Miami drug trade, and it's in the 80s and the modern day.
Right.
Which to me sounds like, it sounds too perfect. You know what I mean? When you hear a game leak and you're like, that sounds amazing, and you're like, that can't be real.
It's everything I wanted.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. So I don't believe that, but I believe in Rockstar enough that I don't think. I'm seeing a lot of the rumors where it's like, it's just going to be GTA Online 2. There's not going to be a single player. It's just going to be GTA Online 2.
I think that is a good chance. There's a good chance of that happening.
I think they value, because if Red Dead 2 didn't exist, I would agree. But the fact they made Red Dead a single player, because there's this whole Save Red Dead Online thing going on at the moment. You know, people.
Yeah, I know.
That game was clearly designed for single player.
But then you have to. You also have to look at the way they treated the online, and they haven't supported it at all.
Yeah, which I feel bad for.
It's I don't know why they did that, to be honest, but
it's one of those things, isn't it? You sort of. It happens. These were all sent in 2022. That when it was announced.
But 4 drinks deep. It's getting a bit messy, but we're here.
We're here.
Okay, so start off the podcast talking about Ye, if he's relevant.
We're gonna end that way.
I just want to know: do you personally think Ye musically can reach the feats that he had before in his career? So I'm talking from Fantasy to Pablo, that type of era.
I don't know, because I would have said he's too controversial a figure now, but he was then.
This is what I mean, like, because I know we touched on it earlier, but you personally, what do you think of Donda? Like, how would you rank it?
I would put it like 5th. I'd put it below Pablo. Pablo's probably 4th, and it's probably 5th in my Kanye ranking. I don't know. Don't hold me to that number, but
so what is your ranking?
It is, it's for me. It's like Yeezus, Fantasy, Graduation, Pablo,
Donda.
I don't know about his first 2 albums. I need to re-listen to them before I rank them. But somewhere around there. I think it's better than Ye. I think it's better than Jesus is King for sure.
What about Late Registration? And
that's what I'm saying. His first 2 albums, I haven't listened to them in their entirety recently enough. I need to listen to them and kind of go from there. Where I'm like, oh yeah, this is better than those, or like, I don't know, because as I said, to me the problem when comparing Kanye albums is that the first 3 are so different.
They're different, yeah.
But I'll put over 808s to be controversial. As we said earlier, I don't love 808s, so I'd put over that. Right.
No, that's interesting.
What about you? Where do you rank Donda?
I don't know. You know,
you like it more than I do.
I it's, for me, it's the same with Loverboy, where it's still too early to rank it.
Definitely my problem is like it's so you have that recency bias where you're like these are all bangers.
Yeah,
It's like in a few months, am I going to still feel that way? I especially have that with CLB.
I think Donda. I think yes. I feel like they are bangers, and they will say bangers like Praise God, Off the Grid, God Breathed. Like I think there's Jail, Moon, Remote Control. Like I think there's a lot of good stuff on there.
Never abandon your family.
yeah. I just don't know where I rank it right now. Same with Loverboy. Like, and don't get me wrong. Like Hot Take, like Loverboy for me is like a fucking great Drake album.
I was gonna say I think it's the best album in recent years.
I really like Loverboy,
Views,
and it's the same thing I had with Dawn FM. Where when I first heard it, I was like, oh, I don't know if this is it.
First listen to CLB, I was like, what the fuck? Partly because of the title, I thought I was getting an R&B Drake album. I was like, this is going to be his R&B tape. And so when it starts with like Champagne Poetry, I was like, what the hell is this? And then you go into like Pappy's Home. I was like, what is happening?
Yeah, but
I was like, what?
Even when I accepted it was another Drake album, I was like, I don't know if I like this.
Yeah, as you've said before to me, there's no singles.
Yeah, but you know what? For me, that's a change of pace with Drake because he's been so focused on putting out bangers and number one hits. Loverboy feels like it sounds different. Where like it feels more like a mixtape, where it's just more cohesive. It's just a sound he's trying to replicate. He's trying to make a tape that, you know, it's not like majorly cohesive where each track links onto the next, but it feels like he had an idea. Whereas like fucking Scorpion was just, it was like a mesh of
as it felt
club
very
bangers, pop bangers. Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I need this song. Okay, I've got my rap song. I need my like hit song. I need my TikTok song. I need my
dancehall song. I need my club song.
I need all of them. And it don't really feel like an album. It just sort of feels like I need this sound.
I want to feel every quota of my label.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but you know what, Loverboy still for me is like the replay value is still there. Definitely. Like it's still holding up.
Even the songs I didn't like at first have grown on me.
Yeah.
Like I didn't really love the Wayne and Ross one.
Because I remember you didn't really like Knife Talk as well at
Knife
first.
Talk as well. Knife Talk brought me a lot. Like,
Yeah.
I really didn't care for it. I was like, this feels, even for what the album was going for, my first listen, I was like, I feel like this is unrelated.
Yeah.
I still stand by it. Should have had a British artist on there.
What, Knife Talk?
Yeah, definitely. I could see.
I feel like that could have worked. Yeah.
I
was surprised he had no UK artists.
Yeah, but I feel like that was more life in it. You know, every album has
a
different
but
sound.
Because on Scorpion, did he have any UK artists?
I don't think so. Could be wrong.
Did he?
Not that spring to mind. Let me double check.
Fact check.
I don't know who it would be. Yeah, who would it be?
No, I don't know if he did.
No, because as I said, I don't know who it would be. Yes, he doesn't have that many features, to be fair. Yeah, Michael Jackson. Yeah, no. There ain't no British people on there. No UK boys.
But yeah, like I don't know where I'd rank Donda or CLB right now.
This is, as I said, for me, the only thing I know is at the moment Donda is below Pablo. I mean, Pablo,
yeah, like
Donda.
Pablo for me is like, I don't know what my top 5 is.
I was gonna say that the thing is with you like Pablo a lot more than I do.
I do like Pablo, but
I like, as I said, to me it's funny because I always compare it to Views, and I like Views a lot more than you do. Even though we rank it about the same, my level for it, like if we gave a numbered ranking, I feel like my ranking for Views would be a lot higher than yours is.
I think Pablo is better album than Views.
See, I have
me
the
personally. I think
that's what I'm saying. I feel like we have this. When you've said to me before, whilst you don't agree with it, right, there's an argument that Pablo is Kanye's best album.
Yeah, and I'll back that. I think there is.
I'm going to be controversial. Let's get some views. I feel the same way about Views.
No, but you know what?
I personally, it's not even in my top 3 Drake albums.
Right.
I get the argument.
But you know what? Like,
if someone came up to me and they said it has one dance, it has controller, keep the family close, you with me.
I think that's reasonable. I think it's reasonable. I think Views being Drake's, and it depends what you define as best. Because if we're talking straight bangers, I think it is very reasonable to say Views.
If we're talking bangers, I don't know what album is gonna compete.
I think it's very reasonable.
Because that is the album where he starts packing in bangers.
Literally. Because the thing with Pablo, it's like, it's not part of the college dropout trilogy. It's different. And it's not like Yeezus.
It's not like Yeezus or Fantasy.
No. It's like, it's modern Ye. And by modern, I mean like 2015 onwards. It's like his version of that sound. And I think it works. There's a mashup of genres. And again, it's different. Like,
yeah. I get what, as I said, for me, my problem with Pablo is it's where the quality starts to not fall off, because it's still an amazing album. I just feel it's where the perfection falls off. You know what I mean? Every album prior to that feels like he perfected like the sound. He knew exactly what he wanted.
Right.
Pablo's a bit looser.
It is, yeah.
And so that for me is why Pablo's not in my top 3 Ye albums.
In terms of modern Kanye, I think it's probably his best.
Because it's funny, to me, I always see people like, I miss the old Kanye. I'm like, there's 2 old Kanyes now. You have old Kanye as in his first 3 albums.
Yeah.
And then you have old Kanye as in...
fucking 808s.
808s, Twisted Fancy and Yeezus. To me, that is a different Ye.
It is crazy. It is
Pablo.
crazy because... And that's what I mean. What you define as modern.
You have old school Ye, perfectionist Ye, and then modern Ye.
You got early 2000s Ye, which is college dropout. Then you got 808s, which is like experimental Ye, and then you got like Fantasy, which is like 2010s modern Ye, and then
that's
Yeezus
when
is
like
just
a perfectionist.
That's just pure hip hop bars production. Yeezus is like experimental. Don't get me wrong, like Yeezus fucking slaps. I love Yeezus. Production wise, probably his best album. Like, let's be real.
On that.
But
come at us.
But Pablo for
Give
me,
us that engagement.
Pablo for me like blends everything. It blends it.
Yeah,
it's not my favorite, but I think it blends it well.
I definitely agree.
It's like you could listen to, as I said, if again going back to the thing from earlier, if that dropped today, Pablo would get so much hype. It would get so much hype. Yeah, People would guess that as like album of the year.
It's got
K-Dot, like fucking Rihanna,
is
Post.
Actually on there, or is he just a writer?
He's a writer on Father Shrines.
But
But yeah,
isn't he on 2 songs? Isn't he on Highlights or something?
He might be.
I think he has credit on more than one song.
But you got Fug.
Yeah, but
K-Dot.
he says Father had 30 hours. He's on 30 hours. Because he goes, I pop star for 30 hours.
But yeah, you got fucking Kendrick.
Post Malone.
Rihanna.
Fug. That was loud. Yeah, like designer. People like that, they're very modern artists. A bit like you get like the Playboy Cartis or whoever on Donda.
You got Chance before he was fucking popping. Like Pablo did a lot for that year.
Make a comeback.
I want to say yeah. I want to say it. Before Big Day, Chance was good.
A great artist.
Yeah, all his tapes were good.
100%. Acid Rap.
All his Acid Rap.
What's
the Big Day? Not the Big Day. 10 days. Not the Big Day. Scrap that. 10 Day Acid Rap Coloring Book.
Coloring Book.
They all slapped.
He's good.
They all slapped.
I don't know what happened. I don't know if it's like the hype of like I'm doing an album.
But why? Because some of his mixtapes were as long as an album.
Yeah.
I don't get what happened there.
It's the same argument I don't get when people are like, if you're reading this, it's too late is an album length thing. People are like, no, it's a mixtape. And it's like, no, but okay, but no.
But I hate when artists do that. Where they're like, it's a mixtape. It's like,
how do you feel about playlists?
How do you define it? Like, why is it different to an album then? Is that your excuse for it not being the quality of an album?
You really like More Life. What's your excuse for it being a playlist?
Yeah, no, I don't understand it though. Like, why call it a playlist?
What does that mean?
Yeah, it's like, is that your excuse to experiment? Like,
I guess the argument is like, this isn't my sound. I'm trying out different, especially with like More Life.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's like,
it's not Drake's sound. It's Drake trying other sounds.
It's not, but like, it's not bad. So
Yeah,
why
100%.
why do you have to call it a playlist? Why don't you call it mixtape? More Life the mixtape, or if you're reading this is technically a mixtape.
Yeah.
But it's like,
if you're in this is the main one, because I'm like, that's like 18 songs.
and for me, that's like his third best album.
Probably. Yeah. What is your Drake ranking? Let's get controversial before we end.
My Drake ranking is.
Give me your Drake ranking.
If you're reading this, it's
number one.
No, sorry. Let me take it back.
Jesus.
I got confused. Number one all day of the week, and you can quote me on this in a year or whenever. Nothing was the same as Drake's best album, and we're gonna quote that. We're gonna keep that on tape.
I came to a realization the other day. I was on the tube listening to If You're In and Not If You're In This. Nothing was the same. And I came to a realization. I was like, this is his best album.
It's his best album. It is.
Like,
you got the lyrical Drake. You've got the R&B Drake. You've got fucking everything on there.
Tuscan Leather.
That's
Pound Cake.
Fucking too much.
Best intro, best outro.
That's it.
Too much. And what's the other? Don't think about it. You've got too much. There's the other like.
How about
rapping.
now?
No. That's not on. Nothing the same. With Sampa. No, sorry. With Janae.
Oh, dun.
I love me.
Enough for the both of us.
What's that song called? We're doing some research. We're big Drake fans. What's it called? Fucking hell.
Fucking
From Time.
That's it.
No, because Tuscan Leather is his best intro, and Pound Cake is his best outro.
Do Not Disturb.
It's a banger, but I've got to give it to Pound Cake.
Yeah, I'll back it.
Cash moves everything around me.
Yeah.
Get the money.
For me, it's.
And then you have his like two best like. It's not conscious rap, but you know what I mean. Where he's just sort of rapping about his life, because Too Much and From Time are bangers. His pop song, Hold On, We're Going Home. You're not beating that. In terms
when
of
that
just
came
pop
out,
Drake.
that was a banger. But for me, it goes. Nothing was the same. Take Care.
Okay, I'm glad we're in agreement.
If you're reading this, it's too late. That's my top three. The all the other albums interchange. Personally,
I agree. I'd probably put it. For me, it's either Views or So Far Gone at 4.
9 times out of 10, I would put More Life 4th. Me personally.
Controversy.
Me personally.
I get it. To me, More Life just feels like Views extended. So I've got to give it to Views.
But for me, Experiments more. And
it
the love it shows for UK.
And I like the UK stuff. For me, I just think Views is a strong, like, keep the family close.
Don't get me wrong, like, I love it. Views is Views slaps. Don't get me wrong, it slaps.
You can quote me on that.
It slaps.
Because dropped a classic and years later they can't
it's a sleeper. It slaps, but it's like, you know what? It doesn't need a ranking. It slaps. You don't need to give it a rank. So Far Gone, I like, but for me, it was like Drake before he was Drake.
I get what you mean.
I like it.
It's
like premature.
Fully realized.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, like it has good, especially if you like R&B Drake. Like
I was gonna say,
there's a lot of.
If someone was like,
songs.
I like when Drake's singing, I'm like, oh, that's the project for you. Like
exactly.
I can't name a more singing Drake track than that.
Yeah, but for me, it was just he didn't quite perfect his.
Yeah, I get
his
what you mean.
Ideas, his sound, and then the rest kind of.
I was gonna say a lot of them interchange for me. I need to think about it more, especially when you include stuff like the Future tape, or like, you know, I mean, it gets tougher to, but certainly the top 3 we're in 100% agreement on.
Yeah.
You know, it's just one of those things. What about Kanye, real quick before we finish? What is your favorite Kanye project? I don't need a full ranking, but what is your favorite?
That's tough.
Because we seemed in agreement on Yeezus. Are we in agreement?
I love Yeezus, and Point It was my favorite. If you had, I don't know, you're gonna make me do this on the air, but
do it on air.
You know what? Like, if I had to pick one tape as my favorite. You know what? Like, I'll probably go Pablo. I'll probably go Pablo. And listen. Let me jump in quick. For me,
jumping on my own
argument. Just listen to me quick. Like we said earlier, it's like you're talking about two different artists. If we're talking about ODA, Graduation top. I fucking love Graduation.
I was gonna say, of his first 3 albums, to me,
Graduation is goated.
But I mean, that has all the bangers. That has Flashing Lights.
And it's like Yeezus, yeah. Yeezus has his own genre. Goated as well. I fucking love Yeezus. But for me, Pablo is like the blend of everything. Like,
that's interesting. Where does Fantasy rank?
Oh, mate. I forgot Fantasy.
When you said it's the best, I was like, really?
No, Fantasy then.
Fantasy first.
Sorry.
Okay.
I forgot about that. Fantasy.
He's walking it back. Get him in the comments. If there's comments.
But Pablo's goated. Pablo's goated.
For me, it's probably Yeezus then Fantasy.
I would go top 3 no order. Pablo, Fantasy, Yeezus.
For me, swap Pablo for Graduation.
That's fair.
We're in agreement.
I respect that.
I was going to say, I do like Pablo. Like, I feel like, because I criticize it so much, sometimes people are like, oh, Ben doesn't like Pablo. But I do like that album. It's just not my favorite kind of
I respect that. Graduation is very close, but it has to be Pablo.
Ironically,
Pablo, Yeezus.
Where I keep comparing
Fantasy.
it to Views, it probably ends up in the same position as Views does on my ranking. Like, for me, Views is probably 4th or 5th. For me, Pablo's probably 4th or 5th in Kanye's ranking. I don't know. I would really need to
add it
up and do the maths.
With artists like Drake, Yeezy, Weeknd, Party, my order changes all the time. Like,
Party,
depends what mood I'm in.
I really struggle with those first 2 tapes. Like, I don't know. Like, normally I go P2.
Let's cut the crap. P1 is his best tape.
That's what I'd say, but P2, man. P2 fucking slaps.
I fuck with P2, but P1 is like pure nostalgia, Toronto sound. You got a Drake feature. Oh, you got a Drake feature on P2.
I was gonna say P2 has recognized.
But over here,
no, you got like over here is underrated.
What's good? Curious.
Nah, but you don't have Grown Woman, Her Way,
Sex
Belong to the City, Sex on the Beach. Better than the Sam Smith song. Quote me on that.
This face looks like
that's Her Way. She gets her way.
Alright, I'm capping. P2 might be the one.
That's the thing. And also, P2 is his sound. You know what I mean? Like, after P1, he never revisits that sound.
P1 and 2.
So it kind of feels weird to rank it. Because I'm like, yeah, but no other Party album sounds like P1.
For me, P1 and 2 are like a sequel. It's like P2 is a sequel to P1. P3 is different, but I still love it. I still like P3 a lot.
Let me break down how they link. P1 is the single life. He's having a lit time.
Right.
What's good, curious. He's fucking about. P2 is cuffing season.
Yeah.
It literally starts with East Liberty, where it's like
summer's over,
and I feel the same way you do. And then P3 is the breakup. That's how all 3 albums link.
That's fair, but
listen to them, and keep that in mind.
But no cap, P3 is overhated.
P3 is better than Trap Soul. Quote me on that.
I like that.
P3 is a masterpiece. It was overhated at the time because it dropped when Views dropped. It got compared to like Drake's work. You know, he was on work. He was doing
Not Nice.
I feel like people were sick of the sort of island sound. You know what I mean?
Obviously, Not Nice was big as well.
You know, I mean, people were sort of like, oh, this again. Like, oh, I want something different. And you know, Roy Woods was doing Go On, Big Up Yourself. I feel like everyone in OVO was doing that sound at the same time, so people were kind of sick of it.
But the thing I think is unfair.
If you revisit it, Party does it better than anyone else on OVO, including Drake.
And the thing I think that is unfair on Party is it's not like P3 is an island album.
Yeah.
It is basically P1 and 2 mixed in with like
I'm not gonna lie. The reason it's third for me is it's not as consistent. Like, there are 1 or 2 songs on there I don't really like.
It is longer.
Brown Skin has a weird beat.
It is longer than P1 and 2 though.
don't flights in the morning, flight, you know, it's got a really weird beat, but as you said, it is long.
It is longer than both of them. So I don't know, overhated for me.
Definitely.
Like,
I don't get the hate. I think it's better than Party Mobile, and I like Party Mobile.
Yeah.
But I think it's better than that.
Definitely.
I think it's his third best album. If you include Colours, it's his fourth best album.
I think it's better than Colours, man.
Colours won.
Yeah, I think so.
Let's Get Married.
I think so. Let's Get Married is a banger, but
Let's Get Married, Girl from Oakland.
I mean, it's not really fair because
Just
P3
Know.
is like double the size.
I was gonna say, and
but
like 4 songs, you can't miss on 4 songs.
yeah,
But Colours won, man. To me, that's like the pinnacle of party.
bro, I'm telling you, I really like P3.
Same.
I think P3 is.
I revisited
great.
it recently. Even the songs I didn't like Joy.
Like you got
Those songs I really
1942. Fucking the open
High
eye
Hopes.
slaps. High Hopes.
She called me dad.
I'm a daddy. Daddy. Come and see me.
It's definitely a banger. Yeah, and what is his best Drake feature?
I'm gonna go Recognize.
Recognize, then
Come and see me.
ooh, I would go the one on P1.
Are we counting the Wednesday night interlude and
No, because that's not a feature. I mean,
what's
songs with him and Drake.
what's the other one on that tape?
Preach.
And
I mean, I'm including any song they both sing on. I'm not including Wednesday night because it's just part.
okay, top for me is Recognize, just because it's iconic. Everyone
Okay.
knows Recognize.
Of course. I got bitches. I don't sing the rest of that song.
Number 2, I don't know. I really
For
like
me,
Preach is a banger.
Preach is a banger, but I'm gonna give it to the one on P1.
Why
That
Come
I
and
can't
see me
think of
though?
I like Come and See Me, but I'm giving it to the one on P1.
I'd probably go Recognize, Come and See Me. Over Here, Preach.
Over Here, that's the name. Why couldn't I think of it? For me, it's Recognize, Over Here, Come and See Me, Preach.
fair
And
enough.
then the
Loyal.
rest. Like, no.
Loyal.
Then it's the one on Views. Then it's Loyal.
It's by That's Friend. Where you going?
And then it's the one on More Life. I can't remember the name.
Oh, that's a banger though.
It is a bang. I like
That's a
all of
banger,
their
though.
features, especially the ones Party singing on the background of like Own It. Ooh.
Own it.
Own it. Own it. It's so funny. It took me forever to realise Party was on that, whereas you were instantly like, Party's on that song, innit?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh.
So I was like in a party phase where I was just listening to all of his stuff back to back. I was like, yeah, I recognise that.
Most underrated artist there is. I'm going to say it. I still want to hear that. He said he has a song with Giveon. I want to hear that song.
Must slap. Him, Brent. need to
He
make a
also
song.
said Brent is his favourite R&B artist.
They need to make
I
a song
want to
together.
hear Brent and Party together. That's just going to be like Toxic City.
Masculinity.
Let's get it.
But yeah.
I think that's a good point to
I
close it.
cut it off.
We've covered everything. It's been like
We
3
went
hours.
much longer than we intended to. We were only going to go for an hour and a
I
half.
was gonna say, and I mean, really, an hour was
It was our limit,
original
yeah.
thing.
But
And
you
then
know
were
what?
Like an hour and a half.
The
and
convo
then it's
flowed.
2 hours.
The
2.5.
convo flowed. Before we
And,
cut, Havana Club.
Please sponsor.
This is going to be our thing. You know how like every podcast has a gimmick where it's like sponsor us. Havana Club, you are our gimmick.
Please do.
One day sponsor us. So
You sponsored Skepta, and we love Skepta, so
we're here. We're here for it.
so thank you for tuning in to Don't Start.
We're gonna. This hopefully will be a weekly thing
Yeah, 100%. We're gonna next Wednesday.
or Thursday.
Thursday. That's what I meant. I meant Thursday. I'm busy
We'll be
Wednesday.
back. We'll be
We'll do
back.
Thursday. We'll see what day this goes up. Wherever you're listening to this, please either follow us, comment on us, like us, whatever it is.
And before we go, just to go back to the original topic, in the comments, do you think Kanye West is as popular now as he was 10 years ago? Let us know how you feel about that topic.
It's a good question. However you found us, please show us some love. And I've been Ben.
This is Aaron. Peace out,
And
boys.
I hope you enjoyed
girls.
Don't Start a Podcast.
Thank you.
Tune in
Peace.
next week.
Peace.